actually could say Mike. All right, we're live on video and we're live on the radio. Good morning, my peeps.
God, it's just good to be alive.
Mike's kind of like a peep. He's short, small, soft. You put him in the microwave, it explodes.
Like a burrito.
Like a peep. You're like a peep.
The peeps don't.
Easy.
Have you ever put a peep in the microwave?
Yes.
You know that if you put two in the microwave, they'll fight each other.
I did not.
If I wanted to see anything like that, if I wanted to see anything close to that, I'd put you and Philip and some fucking Vaseline on a twister mat.
No.
And I dropped the F-bomb. But that's what two peeps would look like.
I know, right?
She's short, Philip's short. Can you imagine both of them like baby oiled up on a like 6 mil plastic in the front yard?
Killing it. You're killing the mood.
That's what we should do.
No,
listen, let me finish.
Yes.
We should one day we should take my backyard. I'll clean all the poop up. Or do it right after the lawnmower cuts.
I was going to comment on how nice it looked compared to yesterday.
Oh, yeah, there's a chewed up beer can.
I know, right?
So anyhow, Stephanie, should have checked your teeth, Stephanie, if the beer can's destroyed. So put down some 6 mil plastic and get out there and skeet a bunch of baby oil on it and make everybody wrestle. And I mean like serious wrestle. Whoever wins gets a Rockdale light.
Instead
Can I go home?
Call it the Redneck
No, you're
Olympics.
already late.
I wasn't late. I was here on time.
The hell you
Being
were.
on time means being late.
Being on time means you get here like 15 before the show.
Look, I'm
not 3 minutes after.
You're
I'm
what?
kind of a big deal. I just walk in.
You're an idiot. This
stuff
guy,
on.
I can text him, and like 4 hours later, I'll get the message. He'll go, "Well, I got it when I was driving, and I don't text and drive."
I don't.
But you were
text and drive.
Facebooking while you were driving.
That's different.
You'll Facebook and drive though. We were seeing Facebook Messenger pop up, and he goes, "Man, it looks kind of creepy outside." I'm like, "Shut up and get here. You're late."
I see you had your shorts on. Are you planning on going swimming?
No. I was trying to give you.
You going for another job?
No.
Oh, you're trying to give me a show.
Nobody laughed.
You're gonna go in shorts and get a job.
I
at
closed the bathroom door today, and I was like throwing out the vibe. You want me to do it again? Remember from Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it every day.
Why are you laughing? He's picking on us.
I know, right?
No, she's a guest.
I can't be dumb and dumb.
No, dumb is at
ish,
home.
Ish. Throw ish in there. God, last night, I know you don't watch my show. Just, you run the radio station and own it.
I was busy.
Stuff, but,
I was out test driving my motorcycle.
So
he was playing with
last night. One of my
I had repaired it.
Kids called in.
Oh no!
And you know me, so I started playing on it, and I could hear his ex-wife in the background.
Please tell me you didn't say, "What are you wearing? What size is your shoe? How much do you weigh?"
No. Get this. I got his ex-wife on the phone. And pissed her
like
what did you say?
Yeah, but wait, like ex-biatches aren't easy enough to piss off.
Oh, this was like
you just had to figure
keg.
out more.
It was a powder keg, and I had
see your camel hoof.
I had like two, Roman candles going. Come over here. And I got her pissed off. She was yelling at the kids, and then she calls him. It was, I tell you what, you can't script stuff like that. It's just beautiful. It was amazing. I haven't slept in like 3 days.
Jacob, I don't know what you're asking.
Wait a minute. You said yesterday you had like 4 hours of sleep, and now you haven't slept at all.
Yeah, I don't remember the 4 hours, and that's God, it looks so weird this morning outside. Y'all see that?
No, I was Facebooking while I was driving.
I was out at 5:45 videoing school buses flying down the friggin' road.
God, our co-host ain't gonna make it to the end of the week. So
it's only one more day. There'll be 2 funerals tomorrow.
Just one.
Oh my God, too soon.
Was that too soon?
That was too soon.
I'm sorry.
Wow. Man, retract.
At least I'll be cheap. I mean, just
we already knew it was cheap.
Wow, you don't have to Facebook that.
Well, we see who you're dating. We already know you're cheap. I mean, look, let's face a couple of things here we see. You worked for a salary at a X job for such a minimum pay, so we know you're cheap.
And that's why I had like 2
and you moved in with Philip.
Yeah, things must have been really bad.
I'm hearing this.
They weren't that bad.
I'm hearing this. Wait, it's a faint echo. Oh my God, I live with Philip. I mean, I don't know if anybody else heard that, but
It's not
Oh
that
man, I post. Where'd I post that?
I just got to mess with him because I know he's not listening. Because if he was, he would have already chimed in
Oh yeah.
which he hadn't yet.
when I made jokes of the camel hoof.
Hoof?
Hoof. You know what a hoof is?
Oh, I do.
It's
know
a whole
what
lot bigger than
hoof
a
is.
toe.
Ouch. No, I posted something last night about people that correct people's grammar.
Yes, I saw
didn't
that
see
too
that.
because that was a
Yeah.
shared link to another page too.
Oh, so did you delete that?
No,
too?
I
Why
left
don't you
that
just own the link instead of sharing and sharing and sharing?
I like to share.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Well, then you stay
That
over
explains,
there.
yeah, that explains the STDs, the SPVs, and the weirdness.
No, it doesn't. Nothing will understand. What gym? You guys go to Planet Fitness,
Yeah.
right? That's cool.
Fitness
All right, cool.
Planet, yeah.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah, I hadn't been this week since I pulled that in my back, man. It's like the freaking last month for me has been horrible. My back feels better though. If anybody needs a sports massage therapist to come to your house to fix you, she is.
You do
the
know they have
bomb.
machines where you can sit down.
No, not like this. Those machines up there are for pussies. I'm sorry. Those I'm gonna just uncensor that for a second. That's for somebody that wants to believe they're actually laying on a massage table.
No, I meant the machines to work out instead of standing up.
Yeah, I got
running on
that.
a
Oh, I'm okay with that. But I can't do that. Not with what was wrong with me. Apparently, from all the Superman stunts I pulled all my friggin' life, my spine is like all jacked up.
Yeah.
So before I knew the top of my neck was jacked up from the wreck, my lower back was jacked up. Well, apparently, dead center where your shoulder blades and all that is jacked up too. And I pulled something on Saturday, and
you jacked up.
she had to come put an elbow in it, so to speak.
Yeah,
but it's better. It's mo better now.
It's mo better.
No, you can't pay for extra, Jeff Matthias. But
I'm not talking.
But it's $30 for 30 minutes. She'll come to your house, and this like if you got a hurt neck or hurt back, she can come and take care of your wife with the whole lovey-dovey massage.
Man, what are you?
But then she can also give you the sports massage. So
something that he's not sharing with you, obviously.
So Valentine's Day, I'll get her to come give Crystal the whole candles and aroma smell and the nice relaxing massage. And then I'm like, all right, now get up here and fix my back. You know.
Wow. Did you deleted my post about being a grammar Nazi?
No, I did not.
Oh my God. I'm tired of being censored.
Do you even know how Facebook works?
Can I explain something about censorship?
You hear the words go, no,
I'm going to explain something.
I'm no Kamovich.
If I was censoring you, I'd censor what you say. But no, you are just screaming what somebody else has said.
Have you ever looked at the people that like the Just
Which
for
is
Fun
plagiarism.
Radio? The Just for Fun Radio likes and dislikes.
It's like a bipolar roller coaster, dude.
It looks like the freaking stock market.
You know what it is? It's
That's
just
exactly what it is.
well, it's just like a daily show. We'll make some laugh and we piss off some of the others.
I think it's great.
But that's the good thing is this is supposed to be entertainment. But again, you know what changes it? Everybody thought about the dickhead with the ponytail. Everybody just hated him, but they didn't know him on a personal level. Quit focusing on what I'm saying on that
he
part.
looks confused.
He gets hung up on one word.
Well, I'm trying to understand who.
Shut up.
What word?
I'm trying to talk about a radio station, and who cares who the guy is, Mike? I say ponytail, and he gets a Woody. I mean, and it's a dude I'm talking about.
And look, he's even looking.
So anyhow, the problem is nobody gets to know the guy on the personal level, so they only know what they know as a show, right? With us, though, they know us personally, and they hang out with us and high-five us, and everything's nice and dandy. But then when we say something here on the show, they get all but hurt, and they want to strangle us. It's like, come on, dude, you do know it's a show. Grow the up.
They can't do that. That would be too easy. What are you doing? Are you
Mike, can I help you? Are you still hung up when I said ponytail? You still trying to think of who it is? You're an idiot.
I know.
He's over there licking the microphone.
That's not true. It's licking my screen.
What difference does it make who the person is when the conversation was about a radio station?
I don't know.
You're a smart man. You can figure it out.
Life is like a box of turd.
That's not what he said.
So anyways, we got any important stuff today?
Hell no.
Of course not.
Yeah, I thought of something, but I forgot.
That's
That didn't
typical.
take long.
Hey, it's my world, squirrel.
That was your world last night.
Hey,
not this
anybody
morning.
on video, let me know how the sound is, by the way.
Yeah, we don't care about how we look.
I kind of jacked it up. I kind of jacked it up again this morning because I was trying to make a commercial. And God, man, this Windows 10 was a mistake. I should have never changed over to it.
There was somebody on the staff that told you.
And there was another one that told me to do it.
Yeah, well.
If he told you to jump off a bridge, would you
No,
do it?
but honestly, I will say this. Since I did the Windows 10, do you notice it hasn't one time popped up this week and said running slow and all this other stuff? So it fixed one problem, but it created a couple of others until we figure out the settings and stuff.
Yeah,
you know, I kind of wish it just would have kept the damn settings I had.
Yeah.
That'd be too easy though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Jacob says it sounds gooder.
Hey,
gooder.
Check this out.
I'm checking it out.
I was talking about my co-host last night, and they were like, well, we see that there's a Just for Fun family and junk like that, and I'm like, okay,
you're not part of it.
That's
you're part of the world according to.
Yeah. I said, look, you guys are acquaintances. I said, and they didn't really understand, so this is how I explained it. I said, okay, Jeff Matthias is apparently he's in charge of the ancestry of the group, and I'm chopped liver. So I said, look, I'm like the uncle.
Don't forget the onions.
Yeah, I'm like the uncle that you figure out.
Fester, Uncle Fester.
Yeah.
I just need you to shave your head come Easter. Halloween.
It ain't pretty.
Come Easter.
Well, when I said bald, I was looking at his head thinking it does look a little eggish.
Wasn't last week?
No,
okay.
Just shush.
No, that was Good Friday.
Okay, so I said I'm kind of the uncle that the family figures out that they have like when you're 30. You know the guy I'm talking about?
The guy that gropes all the little kids?
Yeah, the guy who shows up. The guy who shows up at the family reunion, right?
That sits in the corner
who the
by
hell is that?
himself.
And the one kid that does meth that's been locked up 3 times goes, that's my sister's uncle, and so somehow or another, he's part
and he
of
comes
family.
in the polyester, zoot suit.
Yeah.
Still thinks he's a pimp from the 70s.
And the parachute pants.
That's right.
He's got
right.
parachute pants on and one of those, flame shirts,
And don't forget the penny loafers.
Well, no, I don't. Yeah.
With the pennies.
Do people still wear those?
I guess.
Whatever. All right. So you figure out that
cover them nasty toes.
So I told my co-host, I said, look, I get invited to stuff. Okay. But it's usually after it's over. Like, hey, why don't you come to
Mike goes,
Easter
why didn't I
dinner?
know about this?
Yeah. Why don't you come to Easter dinner? Well, because it's 2 days after Easter, guys. I mean, come on. Hey, that movie was great. What movie? Oh, the one that we played up on the side of the house the other night. It was great. There's like 50 people out here. There were some people we didn't even know that were driving by. We invited them, but not you.
That's right.
And then it's like,
and remember, Doc showed up, and we didn't even really know her at the time.
Yeah. And then here's probably the most recent.
And then he sees the pictures.
There's a family member of the Just for Fun family that passed away, Donna, and everybody's like, hey, when somebody passes away, tell the people that are in your life that you love them and you miss them and all that other stuff. So Jeff Matthias lists everybody basically.
But
apparently that's important to him and just completely leaves me out. So I was explaining to my co-host last night. I said, this is what I told him. I said, I'm the one that they invite after the fact, kind of like a courtesy type thing. And you guys are the ones I told Pat, I said, you're like my illegitimate brother. And then I looked at Danielle and I went, and you're his wife. So it just doesn't go that far. At some point you have to draw the line on who you invite to places.
Well,
here it goes.
One, we used to invite you to like thousands of things and you never showed up.
Not true.
Wasn't the K9 event the first thing he showed up to?
The very first thing he ever showed up to and stayed more than 15 minutes.
Well, yeah, but you guys have got to understand, I don't do crowds well. I showed up at the thing out of the church.
That's why you go and hide with your drone.
Yeah, but you don't have to hang out in the crowd. You're always with us in the bus. Or
do you know
the
that
only thing
at the K9 thing, I went to the bus first. I was in the bus for like 30 minutes.
The only thing I can really understand that may cause you some issues was maybe the basketball court because it was a little chaotic.
Yes, but Mike Myers was there,
Yeah.
and that was cool because Mike could see that I was kind of having anxiety issues, and he started talking with me, so I kind of fed back.
No,
but see,
don't lie. You were trying to hook up with his old lady.
she's
hot, and why she's with him, we've not
know.
figured it.
He
Must be one hell of a nice guy.
Yeah, he's smart as crap. He is.
Do girls want a guy that smart?
I don't know.
I mean, look at her.
Do you know any girls that might be able
She
to answer
apparently
that for us?
doesn't because look who she's with.
You hear what I said? You know any girls that might be able to answer that for us?
that's true too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, we know Bree didn't date Jeff because he was intelligent.
It's the other things that make up for that.
It's not his weenus either. And it ain't his money. Let's see.
Motorcycle.
It's not his looks. He
It's
didn't have
the motorcycle.
he didn't have a motorcycle at
Yes,
the
he
time.
did.
No, I'm talking about Jeff.
Oh.
Jeff didn't have a motorcycle. He don't have a pocket full of money. He doesn't have any.
He doesn't have looks.
He must have one winning personality.
Yeah.
My wife.
That's why you keep him around.
The only reason, you know why my wife's with me? I figured it out the other night.
Default.
No, I figured it. Hey, listen,
Lost a bet.
Let me paint this image, and y'all will get it right. So she meets me living a chaotic life. She knows I'm building a radio station that's going to cause me to have even more haters. She convinces me that to better our life, to look out for our future, we need to get an insurance policy, right? Life insurance.
Right.
And the whole time she knows if he keeps getting this station bigger and keeps getting so many death threats, it's just a moment in time before I collect a check.
That's right. That's all you are to her.
Right?
Is money.
And then she keeps looking hotter, and people like Mike keep coming out of the woodwork wanting to kill me. Like there is a line already formed, starting with Mike and behind Mike, of the men that want to take care of my wife when I'm deceased.
Okay, but you have to admit one thing for me.
I think I just admitted a bunch of things.
Yeah, is me basically being in the shadows there have made you a better husband.
It's made me paranoid.
That you're lurking about?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, he's admitted to me. He's admitted to me
that you lurk.
No, I know that I'm the lurker.
I couldn't figure out why the extension ladder was outside the kitchen window till last night.
know,
But then it dawned on me that can't be Mike climbing that.
Because he'd have a panic attack on the first step.
Oh my God!
I would be hearing something banging on the damn window, and I would go outside, and Mike go, "I'm scared. I can't get down."
And you'd be like,
"Pull me through the window." You won't fit, dude. I
It's
can't
the
help
second rung. Jesus, just step down.
The whole ladder.
Oh
shaking.
God!
Check it out, man.
I'm
John
scared
Belushi.
where this is gonna go.
John Belushi.
Just for fun.
Good morning.
Morning.
Would
How we doing? How we doing?
we was doing terrific.
Until I called, I know. But hey, I got to clarify something, Scott. You got a little bit of your information incorrect there.
Okay.
You're talking about that long line behind Mike
Yeah.
waiting on you to pass away.
Yeah.
I'm not in that line. I don't need you to pass away to be able to take care of her.
Oh my God. Now that's ballsy. Just gonna tell me over the phone, live over the station too.
Yeah. Now you got it recorded. So
Yeah, man. At least now, if I turn up missing, oh crap, that August trip might get scary. We're going around a mountaintop. Right? Jeff, you're riding in the back. Jeff be trying to swerve and knock me off the side of the mountain. Crystal, I don't know what happened. He just turned left.
Mike, did you tell him anything?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, got it figured out.
What was your name, caller?
Prank caller.
Wait a minute. I need to consider the amount of people we're inviting on this trip. At least Travis has probably got my back. So him and Mike could be fighting over that steering wheel.
Well, I'm here to tell you Travis has got your back, but it has nothing to do with the trip.
Travis is to drive the van on all mountain roads.
There's a little mullet love going on there.
Right.
A little brokeback mutton love.
You have been just stuck on that all
Hey,
week.
how about this? So we got this page set up that's for the trip for the guys, right? And I noticed that Retardo Snow decides to go on there. Ricky Retardo Snow, and decided that he wanted to post, "Hey Jeff, I noticed there's this motorcycle in my garage that if the DJ would, basically get it licensed and insured, blah 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 blah, you could ride it."
instead of stopping every
Just
80 miles.
What a lovely way to throw me under the bus,
Why
Mr.
not?
Snow.
But you're gonna have to fix the oil
Yep.
leak.
Oh, it's a Harley. It's
All I
gonna
gotta do
drip
is-
oil.
All I got to do is put a bigger tank on my bike.
Well, I've got a 6-gallon tank on it, but I'd have to go get the tag and insurance on it and stuff. But truthfully, that would make sense. I mean,
Just take the tag off or take the tank off my bike. Put a bigger tank on it.
shoot, the tank on the Harley's a 60-gallon, dude. That's why I say we may just have to do that.
Is this Good Morning Harley Davidson, or is this the Just for Fun radio morning show? Jeez.
Why are you hating?
This
Yeah,
is
you're
back-
getting to go on the trip unless
Why
you're
are you
chicking the hell
hating?
out. Like
Yeah,
all
this
the
is
other
the,
events, Mike, you're invited and you don't
may
show
have
up.
to have the car seat.
You
Strap
can't-
him in the
Well,
car.
You can't
can't-
sit in Zaylee's
okay,
seat.
Look, I know y'all had some type of Easter deal down here because there was dried out freaking deviled eggs or
No,
potato
that was what
skins or
Stephanie
something.
brought in
And then there's
Friday.
a damn pot roast in the studio
Oh
refrigerator.
crap! I still haven't got that out.
Yeah,
We
Oops.
made
Check
that,
yeah.
and you noticed it was never eaten, right?
Well, yeah, because probably the party was so big that I
Like the
didn't get
Brunswick
invited
stew.
to. Yeah, and Brunswick stew.
Oh,
probably.
okay. So since you wanted to pick a sore subject, so my brother-in-law was supposed to have been here Saturday to be able to be here Sunday. The whole family was going to be here Saturday night.
That was at the Just for Fun family.
No, my
No.
wife's family, and his truck broke down, and he got stuck in a hotel room halfway between Kansas City and here. So, congratulations, you were part of ruining our Easter.
Wow.
4
Good
days.
job.
I ruined Easter 4 days later.
Well, you just ruined it for next year too, I'm sure.
God, 361 days
Fester.
away.
So,
Fester.
anyways, Jeff Matthias, what are you into today?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they
Hopefully
decided to open
deeper.
our clearance center now 7 days a week. Originally, we were closed Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Who's working the 7th day?
Me.
The
Jesus.
hairless. The
Son of
hairless
a
boy.
gun! You're working 7 days a week now,
No, I mean, typically we're closed Wednesdays and Thursdays up there.
right?
So Israel covered it yesterday, and I'm
Okay.
covering today.
I'm
so-
like, damn, you already worked
Oh.
6 days a week for 25 years. How much more do they want? Taking it off, boss. Taking it off. 8 days a week. Shaking
it's
it
gonna be the
off.
first-
Shaking it off.
It's going to be the first building that we're emptying. Because this is going to be tougher as we get down.
The clearance
towards
center's
end
the
of
one you're emptying first?
Yeah, because once we get down towards the end, it's going to be harder getting rid of junkier stuff.
Hey, keep in mind,
So-
well, man, I was going to say this, and then you say the word junkie, which changed,
Junkier.
which is what screwed up what I was going to say.
Ish.
I was just going to say, keep in mind anything I might need in the studio.
Where are you going?
No,
with it?
I've got my eye out.
Depends on what it
I've
is.
Seen a couple
Yeah.
of things I might work
You got
out.
a
I
couple
want to get
co-hosts over
I want
there?
to get a cabinet to put on that wall to store stuff because we just stand there for pictures.
Right.
You got a couple co-hosts over there.
Did you make sure and shave your arms today?
Oh my God.
Yes, actually, I did. Yeah, and that's what is so much fun right now because our septic tank backed up on Sunday.
Air.
They finally got out on Tuesday to fix the
where
or to pump it,
Right.
and that was hence the reason for the email about the great people. Kim and Mike Long are the people that let my wife and I and daughter come over to their house to take a shower.
Oh, is that the post that you left Mike out of?
Yes.
Smart man.
But so Mike doesn't feel bad. I just shared a post on Facebook, tagged you, Scott, and him in it. It's just for you, Mike.
Just for you.
Here, let's see. The technical term is I don't care.
That's mean.
Easter's
Really?
not for
Well-
360.
Well, obviously I don't. Well, obviously he does if he's so offended that I didn't.
He
name
is
him.
offended
I
because he
am
keeps
offended.
That's all
talking
he can
about
I
it.
say.
am. I'm hurt. I'm hurt.
He's wearing his short pants today.
Yeah, no underwear either.
No filter?
Mm.
No, I have to wear the charcoal filter.
How's that working out for you?
I don't know. How's it working out for y'all? Can you smell me?
You suck.
I don't know. Where's the
That's
poopery?
it. So now
I had to put it away from my co-host last night. She was in
they came out Tuesday to pump it, and the thing is so old and dilapidated that it can't be repaired. We're in the city of Snellville, so they
Oh, I
can't
thought you were
put in a
talking
new
about
one.
me. I was about to get pissed off again.
Well, it's better being pissed off than pissed on, Mike.
Not
Depending on
true.
how much you charge.
Not true.
Is he trying to say that he likes being pissed on?
I don't know. Do you like being pissed on, Jeff?
Hey.
Aren't y'all rooming
This
together?
is not pervert radio.
No.
Yeah, you two are rooming together.
No, I'm sleeping with Travis. I like the whole mullet.
Do you
Does Travis
snore?
know?
Yes.
Okay, then you and Travis staying together
Okay.
because Travis snores.
So
Does
who are you
Jeff
gonna
snore?
put?
I'm not sleeping in a hotel room with Travis. I tried that one
I
time in
don't-
Augusta. Holy cow.
I'll get my own room.
I had the pillow over my face, and I'm looking at my wife going, if he doesn't stop, I'm going to sleep in the freaking bathtub.
So if you're putting Mike with Travis, where's Jeff going?
Who cares?
Who cares?
I can sleep in the van. I can sleep on the floor.
Should. You should sleep in a room all by yourself because you left off some important people and hurt their feelings.
See, look, he's still just so upset.
Yeah. I'll make it up to him on the trip.
Oh wow.
When everybody
Oh,
else has
no.
their backs turned.
Why do I
When everybody
visualize
else-
towels for everybody?
Why do I visualize a lot of Jack Daniels?
When everybody else turns their backs, I hope Mike does. too.
No, please. Please.
Well, you know he was already talking about Brokeback Mountain.
No
this
turning
morning.
of backs. Y'all are getting
And
strange in this
get
conversation.
I like to drink that expensive French whiskey, so I'll be bringing that.
What? Poo poo la stinky?
No, Jacques Daniel.
Man, I'm so excited. Last night I was flipping channels again. And West Coast Customs. They keep, unfortunately, it's on this new Vision channel or whatever. So they keep like playing the same friggin' episodes over and over. But last night it was the episode about the honey Jack Daniels again. So it's all about watching the distillery and blah 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 blah.
Bree loves that honey Jack.
I'm not even
One
going
of
to
her
go there.
favorites.
Well, I tell you what, man, I can't wait.
Oh,
I still
me
hadn't
either.
talked to Rob. Rob's got a lot of stuff going on right now with his child had been hurt.
How's that going?
I guess everything's good. I mean, from
Well,
what
it
we
looked
saw.
like he
yeah.
just had just a little bandage on his finger instead of.
That's
Well,
so cool.
I know they're saying the tip of the finger might be messed up. They don't know, but I don't want to go down the road because it's not my business to tell.
Yeah.
But I know he's been so busy, so I hadn't really nailed him to see if he wanted to go on this trip. But man, this is
Nailed
a
him.
good trip.
Nailed
Shut, y'all are a bunch of pervs. Is this perv radio?
Apparently, you're the boss.
Well, it is. Well, I was going to say it's before, but now it's 8:02.
It's 8:02. That needs
Yeah.
to stop.
2 seconds past perv.
Yeah, that that made me feel comfortable, Mike.
Over there smacking his lips.
Who?
Well, Scott, the reason I called in,
Yeah, why did you actually
Man.
call in?
Did you butt dial?
y'all were bashing me like crazy.
No, we weren't.
About empty pockets and my looks. and-
Nobody,
Oh,
no. We weren't bashing. We were asking questions.
No, I was bashing.
It was
He's
was the
mad because he
one-liners.
doesn't have his country girl with her.
Damn.
it was the
I need
one
to talk
liner
to you
that got
about
her.
that.
It was one-liners.
Yeah.
Isn't that the name of a club?
No, that was eyeliners.
Oh.
Okay, Jeff. Well, thanks for calling in, sir. Is there anything we can help you with? I was trying to avoid that awkward moment where you're asking us about somebody slamming you.
No, he
Did
said
I say
nail.
that out loud again?
No, you said nail.
So, truthfully, we need
Yeah,
Bree to
no.
call in and,
Oh my
and let her
God.
tell us what she saw in you.
She gets away
Yeah, that's
with
what I'm still trying
murder.
to
She's
figure
a
out. I
guest.
had my
Shut
back
up.
to-
Our guest on the phone's trying to speak. Mike, please repeat
He's
yourself.
not a guest.
I'm muting you. Please repeat
Well, I
yourself.
was playing poker, so I always had my back to her, so there's no telling.
She
Couldn't
just,
be my Scott ears.
she just likes you for your
Call her.
hair.
The phone's breaking up.
He said ears.
Y'all have
If
a
you
great day. I need
look
to get-
with your nose, if you had my ears, that'd be awkward.
I guarantee you,
Mike said he just threw up in his mouth.
my nose and your ear, Scott, I could run out of gas and still coast all the way over to Australia.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh
wow.
my God.
And Mike's butt, you'd float because fat doesn't sink.
I don't have a
that's
fat
in case
butt.
of,
He's
That's
got
in
a
case
juicy
while I was-
wiggle.
that was
Man.
in case while I'm flying. If I go
I have a
if I go
firm.
down and
He's
land in
saying-
the
no,
ocean, I
the-
could float.
The phone guy's only talking.
I don't care about Jeff Mathias. He doesn't care about me. My butt is like a firm apple. You want to touch it?
A bruised firm.
I'm about to take these headphones off.
Scotty, don't you have a taser that you could like?
It's upstairs. I found where my wife hid it though.
I got mine.
It's like
Yeah,
a
we
firm
know.
apple with a
let me see it real quick and put it back in your bag for you.
Uh-uh.
All right, Jeff.
Probably still has a stem in it too.
So listen, I think that the count. Here's the thing on the page. We got like 10 people. I hadn't added Mike because he'll start typing on a bunch of weird perverted stuff. And I hadn't added Travis because he doesn't do anything on Facebook anyways. So I think we're up to like 10 if Bree wants to find out, about how many rooms they have.
I guess I can do that.
I mean, we're only going to be there one night. Hell, if we have to, somebody can roll up some air mattresses and deal with it.
I can't believe that I'm one step above the guy with a mullet that doesn't Facebook.
You are maybe 2 steps above. Maybe.
I'm
Well,
about to take
depends
these
on whose
headphones
feet
off
you're using.
and come
No, you're
rub.
not.
I'm going to rub my hard, firm ass all over your shoulder.
No.
I'll do it.
I just
wore a bra last
got
night.
if his ass is firm, it's because of the gristle.
Well, who said that?
Wow.
Who said that?
So hey,
You
Dan,
always
holler at
wait.
us later.
Y'all take care.
All right, thanks. We got to go to commercial, everybody. Hey, it's just fun, man. We'll be right back. We have the Now or Never commercial coming up, and then we have the Pamper Puppy coming up. So with that being said, I've got some other stuff that involve dogs to be played right before the Pamper Puppy commercial. We'll be right back, Wilbur.
Sent me an email this morning. YouTube. It says just for fun radio, the world according to Mike, and the date and more videos.
This
Sent
is
it
what-
to me at 6:37 this morning. But it sent
is
it
what I
to
was talking about.
an email address that I don't.
His name is Little Peter out of Maine. Listen,
What about him?
he's just.
Oh yeah. I've seen that video. I had to see his face.
Double J. Yeah. Come on.
You see what a guru said? You had coffee pouring, or he had coffee pouring out his nose. That's mean.
Oh man. Lucy is so cool. Lucy.
Lucy on The Walking Dead. Negan. No, it's a ball bat.
Oh yeah.
It's Negan's baseball bat.
Negan's, the real
The Negan.
is supposed to be
There.
Negan.
Negan or
Yeah.
Negan?
Negan. And juice, lay back. Fine,
Don't you have any genuine?
but it's not clean. I gotta get clean. But they ain't chipped in.
Why are you bringing in stuffed animals?
You gotta get mine.
Actually,
Or Beanie
my
Babies.
two co-hosts are EMTs,
Oh,
and they got a whole big bag of them they keep on the fire truck. Scotty brought her down, and they gave this one. They gave me one, which I took home. This one was just kind of left here for the show. Ha 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 ha! I'm not gonna throw it to you.
come on.
Gin and juice.
No.
It's we used to have a lot of stuff up here, but then when I got fired the first time,
Oh, don't even.
something happened to my bear, my
He
poo
went
bear.
home with you.
Then I came back, and then I got fired again.
You
Isn't that
never
a daily
really got
thing,
fired.
though? You get fired and told to shut up every
Get the
day.
hell, no, get out and fired are two different words.
Yeah, well, get out isn't what you said.
What did I say? Get the F out.
Yeah, well, there's some
The other words-
MFNs and GDNs and don't come backums. Yeah. Every girl deserves a guy that can make her heart forget. You know the guy with the extended clip on his revolver? He's just getting abused now. Now there's this fat guy with a drill, and he's holding up a drill.
How about the girl? How about the girl that found some real tips?
That's all fake.
I know, but that's
But it
just
is
so
funny.
funny.
And that's been going on for a couple of years. People are so done.
People stupid, man. People are just stupid. I don't know what to say. They're stupid. Stupid is as stupid does, right, Mike? Mike, right?
Life is life.
Right, Mike, right. Mike, I said right, Mike.
Oh, Best Buy. Need anything from Best Buy? I'm about to.
Why would I need anything from Best Buy? I mean, if you're just wanting to spend money, there's several things I could use. And I just turned the volume up a little bit on
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
Do it again. Do it again.
I'm about to make that the wallpaper of my tablet.
That's not annoying. We got to go live, by the way.
You're right. That's not annoying. That's
Yeah, it's
freaking
annoying as shit.
Man, that's about like freaking.
And we're back, and I'm here with Frick and Frack. What's happening, Frack? Or you Frick?
He doesn't know.
You're
He
definitely
doesn't
prick.
know.
I'm military.
It's 8:12. What about what do you got going on, man? You got any? You how come you never really do like real news?
Because I can't be serious on this show. I have to have fun and goof. This is my goof
You have
show.
been serious the whole time you've been here. You've been just straight serious, looking at whatever it is you're looking at over there.
Well, you know what I'm looking at. don't act coy now.
What young girls
They are younger than me.
or young boys?
No, I'm not. That would be.
Oh, that would be weird.
Yeah.
Looking at Taylor Swift isn't.
No, Taylor Swift is gorgeous.
She's your
Swift-
granddaughter.
Taylor Swift and my first wife are almost. They look like sisters. I'm serious.
I don't know what you want.
Weird.
you and your guest co-host
right?
over there. No, Taylor Swift is a beautiful woman.
I mean, really,
Let's
that's
see.
about how boring that was.
I know, right?
Well, you won't let me drink beer in the morning, so I got.
Well, go help yourself. Did you clean your beer crap out of my fridge yet?
Oh yeah, next to the pot roast that's been there a week.
And what were you
No,
drinking?
it was
the
put in there
Rockville Light?
Sunday. But no, he comes and gets a beer, but he leaves the friggin'
Trash?
the trash in the refrigerator.
Why?
Well,
who
I was
does
during
that?
Me. Apparently.
Why?
It was during the show. I just ran and got a beer. It's not.
He
like
leaves his monsters laying around, and
I do not.
Don't they give
What's
you
in
like a
that bag over
brown bag?
I take the trash out all the time.
he only
I'm
brown
the
bags.
best.
Didn't
He only
Yesterday-
brown bags his girlfriends.
I see that.
Double. What do you mean you see that? You never seen it.
They never saw it either.
It's really weird. The girls I date, the whole catfish thing, and then when you put a bag over their head, they're still like, "No, don't take a picture of me."
Don't turn the lights on.
I don't do that anyways.
Huh.
It's kind of weird. Guys want the lights on, girls want the lights off. So there you are.
Shouldn't
I
it be
gotta
the other way around?
I'm going to change my wallpaper on my tablet here to the
To what?
banana splits.
Why?
La la la, because I can.
Closest thing to a split you'll ever get's one of those, or maybe the true banana split from a Dairy Queen.
I was about to say I can go to freaking Taco Bell.
Taco.
What the
Really?
hell's Taco Bell got to do with it? A banana split?
I can get a whole box of splits.
Soft or hard?
It doesn't matter.
You're weird, man. Just weird. So, do
Definitely.
we actually have anything to talk about today?
Mm-mm. I cannot be responsible for topics on Thursday morning.
You
I
can't be responsible any morning.
can't be responsible.
I've still not really figured out what you do here.
Me either.
So,
Wow.
how's the job search going?
That was nice.
So, you're wearing shorts today. Does that mean you're going to work at the water plant?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be a waiter?
Where's
Sorry.
your boots?
Yeah.
How'd the application process go?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many applications have you turned in? And
I'm-
where?
Okay.
Has
here.
the
Let's,
scarf?
Ruby
helped?
Tuesday.
Real-
He's going to be the salad bar guy.
Real quick, let me kind of clear something up. Go to hell, both of you.
We're already here.
Jeff Matthias, y'all can just talk about me.
Well,
Hey, I think
that's a short subject.
let's just make some jokes for a second. Can you see him
He didn't even.
as the working the registers at McDonald's?
Who?
You.
Why
Now-
the hell do I have to be the topic of
No,
this
because you're
conversation?
going to get a job. So I was saying,
Look,
can you
most
imagine?
McDonald's have all gone
What do you want?
automated. Have you seen
Hey,
that?
15 frickin' bucks an hour? I'll take your damn order.
Don't say that. Friggin' Alex will be like, yes, you deserve 15.
$15 an hour? That's $30,000 a year.
For what? So they can screw up your order even
And
worse?
still wear their pants off their ass.
Right.
It drives
Yeah.
me nuts. How do the McDonald's employees get away with that? Why doesn't management do anything about it?
Let me tell you something. I could frickin' work at McDonald's. I don't want a management
So why don't
position
you?
Because it's not $15 an hour.
How about on I don't want to get I don't want to do any specifics, but I went into the auto parts store that I would typically go into, and the manager, I mean, it might as well be Memorial Drive. The manager's like, "What's happening, my brother?" And I'm just like,
Oh, well.
"Is he talking to me?" Like, when does the manager act so
Yeah.
unprofessional?
That's
That-
the new thing.
Look, dude, I went to the AutoZone
I mean,
on Elm Street.
I
in
felt like I
Covington
was at
yesterday.
like
not
Memorial
supposed
in
to name
Glenwood,
drop.
that kind of area.
I'm it's cool to say that, right? I
What?
went to the AutoZone on Elm Street in Covington yesterday.
Sure.
Holy-
Where's that one? AutoZone?
Yeah, it's right there by the road that
Yes,
goes.
where Ross, it used to be Food Depot. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Holy smokes, dude!
Yeah, you might as well be stepping into.
There's like gangster music on the radio. And
Well,
stuff.
I went into that's stupid you say that because I went into the AutoZone on Salem Road yesterday too.
Mhm.
And there was that was
I wonder if
that
that's
was playing too.
Yeah, it's a trip. And the guy's got on a black jacket zipped all the way up. Okay, and yesterday is what 75 degrees.
Right.
So he's got it all, and it's not an AutoZone jacket. It's like a black jacket,
Right.
zipped up all the way, and then he's got a cap, a skull
beanies?
cap.
Hey, my
Yeah.
little poke at Alex worked because he is the guy that has been saying that minimum wage should be blah 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 blah, and it still doesn't change the fact that the idiots working at fast food don't deserve to make $15
They
an hour.
don't because look, case
And
in point.
he
you
wants
have-
me to read everything he typed, and I'm like, I don't have to misunderstand. Minimum wage does not need to be $15 an hour because these jackasses that want a real good job should go to school, get some education, and get a real good job.
look.
Wait, Alex, didn't you have to do that too? You had to go to school to get your good job.
How can you pay someone working at McDonald's $15 an hour when you have public safety people making the exact same thing, doing a job that's
Start off at some of these counties are like 23,000 a
Yes.
year. I know
Doing
a guy
things.
right now that is ready to leave Rockdale County who's been there for XYZ years
right?
because he's only making $32,000 a year and he's
Yes.
putting his life on the line every day. Oh, but give this piece of turd at McDonald's the same amount of money
for doing
for
what?
doing nothing. For dipping out some greasy fries
Hey,
and
they're
wearing your pants hanging off your ace
I'm telling you,
and being rude to your customers.
There's another
and pay
state-
them $30,000.
Man, there's another state yesterday with that went to it $15 an hour, or it's
And-
clifted. It starts at like $10 or $12, and then
Here
a
we
year.
go. Again, you're mistaking my fact with opinion. You said the words that you
Wait,
believe.
allegedly.
Oh yeah, allegedly you said the words that minimum wage should be raised to the figure in which at the time these people were biatching about saying they deserve $15 an hour. That's where the heated discussions happen. And I said I thought it was ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
I don't think that people like me, when I started construction, I had to get paid $5.25 an hour because that's what minimum wage was. I worked that job for 2 years as an unskilled laborman to even grow to where I could make the $7 an hour with Mark Henderson Electric. And then after working there for years, I got up to $11 an hour. And then I left that company, went to another company and worked there. I mean, for 20 years, I had to bust my balls to be able to make $20.50 an hour.
Mhm.
And it took all that learning and all the stuff I had to learn to do electrical work, to have certifications, to know what I'm doing. So what I find funny is there's a lot of guys that are doing construction that make nowhere near $15 an
No,
hour.
they don't.
They're busting their knuckles every day, building America as blue collar workers. And then you got these turds that want to get paid $15 an hour
as a handout.
to hand food to somebody
Right.
with no skills.
And they get EBT.
I got skills.
What skills you got?
You can tell he's agitated. I defend the reasons behind it because I'm open-minded. Well, you've never done a hard day's work then. Because if you were to ever have to get out there and do construction and you do it for about 2 or 3 years and learn what real hard knuckle busting, break your wrist, break a foot, dirt in your eye, cuts on your hand, you live like that, then you have a whole new respect and you will not want to see them as people who aren't working hard handed money when the people who are working money are barely getting paid.
Yep.
I guess division's different because let's look at it this way. When I was doing electrical work and we're out digging ditches to put all this pipe in the ground on these hospital jobs, we would have the electrical engineer who was a suit, which would be you, would show up and point and try to tell us what to do, but yet you had book experience, but no real life practical experience. So you might be the suit, you may have been the guy getting paid more, but we were the monkeys that were making sure that your stuff that you drew on a print was done correctly, because even though most of the numbers these cats would put on paper, it looked good on paper, but it didn't work in the real world. So we would have to decipher what they said and what they thought, because they would try to tell us how we needed to get, 6 inch from the transformer and into a building. Well, just because you can draw it don't mean that's how it happens.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
So, again, suit, blue-collar worker. Suit, blue-collar worker. Big difference.
And look, blue-collar...
It's real easy for somebody wearing a suit to say what the poor people should get. It's real easy.
Screaming they want $15 an hour. I got a message saying they cannot read. All they do is look at pictures. They don't even know how to give you back the correct change. If the computers go down, they don't know how to add and subtract.
I know how to add and subtract.
Add and subtract what? Beer bottles?
$15 an hour.
He's telling me that it's a lack of understanding. Well, here's a lack of understanding. The sorry aces don't want to work to further themselves, so they settle.
Right.
Just like the commercial of the people that settle. Duh. You want to tell me it's a lack of understanding? I think right now it's a lack of understanding on your side, because you don't live as a poor person. How do you understand the poor people? It's just like Whoopi Goldberg trying to be the national spokesperson for black people as she lives in a mansion and she tries to talk about with the poor black folks. Girl, you live in a mansion and you got people that cater to every one of your needs. You don't know what it's like to live on the street anymore. You may at one time, but you don't. You don't know what it's like.
50 years ago?
Oh, yeah. That woman has no concept. No concept.
No. None of them do that sit up there.
You know how much
Alex should get on the bus and let me take him to show him where some of these homeless people live.
Have you ever taken him to
Sunrise? let him see what real hard working poor. Yeah, that's what he should do. We should get in my van and go down to Sunrise Trailer Park.
Has he ever been there?
No, he's never been there.
Oh,
that's
Sunrise,
let him go see that.
Go patrol through there.
And you know what's so funny is those people that live there aren't the people working at McDonald's screaming they want $15 an hour. These are the people that are building America.
Right.
These are the people that are doing road work, construction, everything that makes everything possible in America, and not somebody that's just handing out a hamburger.
Yep. When I first went in the military, get this, I just figured it out. I made $573 a month. That's less than $20.
He says, however, there's a benefit in the economy. We understand the benefit in the economy. How about this? Sorry ass people need to work.
They need to get an education.
They need to pull their pants up. First thing they need to do is buy a belt, pull the pants up, and work for a living. Work for a living.
But they are a product of their environment.
I mean, I can't tell you how many people right now in the business world that are saying I can't work more than 21 hours because I'll lose my benefits. Every grocery store chain around here right now has the same problem. The part-timers can't work more than X number of hours, or they lose their Medicaid and they lose their EBT and they lose this and they lose that. Mm-hmm. And half of the ones that are working at McDonald's are only working there part-time so they can keep their benefits, because that goes back to the states feeding them.
Right.
So, yes. How about this? Cut off a lot of that and force all of them to go get a job. I mean, everybody wants to complain about the Mexicans. Well, you know what? The Mexicans are doing what most Americans don't want to do anymore. Well, most of these Americans have been sorry asses. They don't want to go out and work. They want to sit up and collect a check. Well, the Mexicans really can't collect a check.
No.
So the Mexicans are working. So, we can all day long be on the radio show and pick on the Mexicans. But let me tell you something. The world of construction is mostly that because they're the hardest working cats in the United States because everybody else has become wussies.
Yeah.
There you go.
Somebody wanted to know, was I being sarcastic?
About
Not
what?
Product of their environment.
Well, they could all scream a product of their environment, but it's real simple. How many football players or basketball players came from the ghetto and said, I aspire to be more? So you can blame anything you want. Look, I was a little hood rat. It was a product of my environment, but I chose not to be that anymore.
That's a choice. You chose not to.
Everybody has the freedom of choice.
Just
first thing God gave us, whether you want to believe in God or not, the first thing that you were granted was the freedom of choice.
Correct.
Along with a heartbeat. Mike, you're just staying out of this one. I just think it's funny.
I'm not gonna. I mean, my thing about minimum wage is probably a little different than most. So I'm just kind of being quiet on this one.
I just wish. Even though people say if we cut all these people off, everybody would starve. Eventually, it's just like when I had to take that baby out of that stroller, out of her walker, and I had to set her on the ground, and she had to stand up the first time, and then she had to take 2 steps the first time, and then she took 4 steps, then she took 5 steps, and the next thing you know, she's walking. Well, it's kind of the same way.
Right.
I mean, if the world right now, if all the electricity in the world turned off, everybody would freak out. I'm gonna starve. You would for a couple of days until you would figure out what it takes to manage.
Right.
If the world's cell phone industry stopped and we had to go back to no cell phones, okay, our kids would freak out for a few minutes, but the world's not going to stop.
Yeah.
We may weed out a couple of the weak ones, but hey,
probably need to anyways. Now, my take on it is, and it is a little bit different, but here's the thing is, look, I understand that there is a whole large demographic of people that probably shouldn't be working. You see what I'm getting at here is like, if you're, let's say you got a spina bifida or something like that, you got a really bad problem.
If you have real medical problems,
right,
that's different.
I know, but here's what I'm saying is, okay, so instead of just sitting at home collecting a check like SSI or whatever, and look, I'm disabled, so I get a disability check.
I could go get a lawyer and go get my disability,
right,
and I should have done that back in 2002, but you know what? I'm not a sorry piece of crap.
Right. Well,
I try to work for what I have to have.
So we have all these jobs that people are getting $45,000,
right,
and basically they sit around and plan the meetings for people in our state government. Why not have these people that are on SSI? There's got to be a job. Okay, the state has to go out and cut the grass around the highways, right?
Right.
Well, somebody eventually has to be the person that gets a phone call that says, hey, the grass needs to be cut over here. Who answers that phone? Somebody's making $45,000.
It's not all automated.
It's BS. Why don't they have somebody that's freaking on SSI working for their check? Now, look, they don't have to. It's not physical labor. They could have a headset on. They just have to push a button and answer a phone.
Right.
But being that I worked in the rent-to-own industry, I saw generations of SSI. I literally saw kids that were going, as soon as I hit 18, mom's going to give me my check,
right, and
I'll be able to get that boom and kick in stereo.
Right. And
I'm sitting there going, wow, because your mom's on SSI. Oh, yeah, by the way, your grandmother's payments due. So how do they say it? If you keep feeding the animals, they're going to stop hunting.
Everybody can say whatever. It is a catch-22. For us to stop it means we'd have to live with a little bit of a repercussion.
I know, right?
Kind of a scary picture.
I was about to say,
first thing in the morning. Listen, so let's do a bit of a change of subject here. So you spoke of a rent-own business.
Yes.
I saw the commercial of Travis's new bed that he wants. Now, he doesn't know he wants it yet. But as soon as he sees this bed for $695,
What kind of bed is this?
let me finish. You're gonna love it. Travis thinks. Now let's just get this. Travis is a redneck, y'all. I'm talking mullet, going bald, Hulk Hogan kind of haircut.
Right. Right.
Thinks the more speakers, the better.
Mm-hmm.
And if
he looks at quantity or was it quantity, not quality?
That's right. I mean, I can have 7. Look, I can have 7. Well, what now? Surround sound's up to like 9 speakers now, but
Yep.
used to it was 5 point, now 6 point, 7 point, anyway. I can have like Onkyo, which he probably doesn't even know who that is. I can have an Onkyo system and it sound amazing and only have 5 speakers. And Travis go, man, you need some more speakers.
Right.
And it didn't even matter what kind of speakers.
You just need more.
It could be 17 Sparkostatics. You know, that would be the old company called Sparkostatic.
Blow point.
I got 14 pyramid speakers, and this puppy right here is badass. And that's what his mind thinks is the more the better. So when I saw this commercial, I said, oh my God, Travis is going to want this bed. And I'm posting it in the fun page now. Watch this. I'm promising you, this is absolutely hilarious. Watch this bed. I know he's going to want this bed. This bed has built-in storage drawers. It has a light for reading, which that'll never happen. Bluetooth speakers, a cup holder, and in his case, that should say beer holder.
Wow. Is he actually going to use it?
Why wouldn't he? He can now put this in the living room and lay in the bed and watch movies and have 23 speakers and a beer holder on his bed.
Man.
And you know what else? There's enough room on the side. He can hang all his Dale Earnhardt Jr. stuff and his Dale Earnhardt crap. And I mean, come on. Can't you just see the number 8 or whatever them numbers he would want over there? I mean, whatever that number is, 3 is Earnhardt 3. I mean, look at that. I mean, they've got Travis written all over this. It has a little lid that opens up, and it has 2 pillows that you can actually hit your head on the headboard, and it's pillowed. So it's like a recliner, but it's a bed. And it says LED reading light.
That's
but really
awesome.
what that stands for is it's an LED light so I can see my remote while I drink my beer in the dark. And it says Bluetooth speakers so I can have 23 speakers. Then it says fold down cup holder, which in Mr. Subliminal says this will hold your beer. You can lay here. And the only thing it's missing is a pisser.
Well, yeah.
But you can put that in that drawer.
Right. You can actually lease this thing.
$690. Do you see it right there?
Well, it says retail value. Then it says lease services $869.
That's right. Right. Because by the time you pay it off, it's $869.10.
Oh my God.
But the retail value is $649.78.
We used to definitely have a lot worse ripoffs than that.
And then look, West Virginia charge of $909.
Well, I mean, legally, you have to put down what it will run if they pay the full amount. But here's the thing: is like we buy a pager for $6,
right?
Okay, then we'd rent the pager out for $9.99 a week, which is $40 a month plus $10 a month for the service. So now we're making basically, our service was $1,
right?
So we're basically, in a nutshell, making $30 a month per pager. Only 23 to 25% actually went full term and owned it.
Full term. Are we talking about pregnancies or what?
So only 1 in 4 actually owned it. So the other 3 gave it back, and we just wiped it off, put it in the display case, and did it again.
They're gonna make their money no matter.
I had big screen TVs that had made over $10,000.
That's like running a pawn shop.
Yes.
What's wrong with running a pawn shop?
Well, the thing too is I know
principle.
I know Steph and them wanted to buy a new mattress, a new bed, whatever. So I knew this would be right up their alley.
It is.
I mean, it's got a beer holder, man. Come on.
I was thinking, it could have the ice chest. Or
what do you think?
They can strap that on the side, chick. I bet you that he could build a cooler and put a hook on the side of it so it hang on the side of the bed like the speaker did at the drive-in theater.
Right.
Oh,
all right, look, we got to go to commercial. Everybody, hang tight. We'll be right back. It's one of those mornings. Welcome to our world.
You can't steal my line.
It's the Kool-Aid. Reason why I say it's like a
Like you were saying.
No, the reason why it's like a pawn shop is you go pawn something,
Mhm.
they
Yeah.
give you like a quarter of whatever the value.
They usually give you what, 10%?
No, 30 to 50%
Okay.
is what we did.
Well, then they have, if you're going to keep it on pawn,
An interest.
the interest is going to eat you alive if you don't go pick it back up.
Well, I mean, they're giving you money.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a loan store.
They're giving you. You come in with
But
something.
the people that run pawn shops, just like these errands, lease, whatever, they're still going to make the same type
Well,
of
you-
money. That's what I'm thinking of. Not the person.
Denise,
pawning.
back off the damn beer holder. it don't fit a friggin' growler.
Right.
But it'll fit a tall boy.
Hell yeah, they're smart now. They're making tall boys where they fit. No, a pawn shop, believe it or not, does not make as much.
headlight in last night, by the way.
Did
Not
you?
make as much money.
Crystal raised in hell because it's a split headlight.
Is it like the one that you showed?
It's like Joe Leaper's. It's
Leaper's?
round, but the top's high, low beam, and the bottom's both. So she's like, only half the headlight's working. I said, that's just, it's a split bulb.
Is this one going
It's
to be
not
like the other
working.
one?
It's only half a headlight. I had to explain it, and then she goes, "Oh, I thought it was broke." I was like, "No, honey."
Is this one going to work any better?
Oh God, dang! I was having people high beam me last night, and then I had to high beam them, and then they really got pissed.
That's the way I did that to a cop one time. It was hilarious.
The reason why I was saying anything about pawn shops is my ex. My phone.
I've ran a couple of them. You don't make it. And 99% of the time, the shit people are giving you to loan, you'll ask them, "Do you want me?" They think they're going to get more money if we're. So I'd go, "Do you want to buy it?" And they go, "No, I want a loan."
Right.
You get the same amount of money. I used to explain that to people, and let me just buy it because then I can put it on my shelf. If
And
not-
you get more money if you buy it right then, right?
Well, we used to tell them that, but we didn't.
I know, but that's the sales pitch.
Yeah. And then, so I'd sit there and go, but if you want a loan on it, I got to wait 64 days
Or you can.
of default. I got to call you. I got to do all this other crap. So if you don't want it, just tell me. And they'd always go, no, I want it back. Okay, well then they come back. You call them after a month, and they come back, and they're just paying the interest.
Right.
Okay,
And
and
then
then
they can't understand too if they
Yeah.
pay late, it costs more. They don't.
so they're sitting there giving you, $1, and they're going, "Dude, you ripping me off." Wait a minute. Shit.
Right.
It's sitting on the damn shelf back there. That crap. And things are broken. Like TVs. TVs were notorious.
That's the light. All of that is the light. That's what it looks like. But because it's a split light,
Right.
meaning the top is regular beam. See that picture?
Right.
That's regular beam on the right, and then that's high beam. So I'm not picking on my wife, but that's where she's like, "Well, only half of it's work." I'm like, "No, honey, it's a split light." Well, I don't see how that could be any brighter.
Yeah.
Because it is. It actually don't look bad.
Oh, no, I'm not tired because I've done anything. I'm just tired.
My wife, hold on, she's gonna be mad at me. Look,
Hmm.
Bella left morning surprise. Thank God Zay's seen it.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Right out the front door there.
Kill her.
Huge pile right there by the side.
What stupid is she went out with me this morning. I'm coming to your house soon.
I told him, I said, look, Max was going to have another body for his girlfriend to join.
She's getting bad, dude. She ain't listening. She don't think. She just does whatever she wants to do. Driving me cuckoo.
Like yesterday, she just
I
came
know.
down here.
I know. It's driving me nuts.
Ooh, for Cocoa Puffs.
And wait till you see. We gotta go back. Wait till you see my tail lights before you leave today. Y'all ain't gonna. I fixed my turn signal on my trunk. You'll see. People behind me will hate me. You know how I know this? Because they were speeding down Spring last night.
And you were
I lit him up one time. He stopped. He got off my butt.
You still need to get Philip's lens.
Yeah.
The
lens.
Oh, I
The
think
glass.
limbs.
Not limbs.
Oh, he needs to take it
What
out.
the
Hey, and we're live. I can just give him the one I got.
Yeah, just give it to him.
Okay.
And then we'll fix his. And we're back today. Some Just Friend Radio. How you doing? How's you doing?
Okay.
So listen, I have been busting Alex's balls a little bit because it's fun. And he does it back. Wait a minute. That sounded really bad.
Yeah, it sounded like somebody.
I like British
cupping.
guys.
Stop cupping. No cupping.
No, but he does have. Alex has this great idea if he would like to call in. Don't do it when a train's driving by though, because apparently where he works, man, freaking trains come by every time he calls. But he has this really good idea about the education part of it. I mean, it really does make sense.
Right.
So, anyways, how you doing, Mike? What you doing, Mike?
I'm on Facebook. I'm trying to find a girlfriend.
Are you in hotsluts.com or I looking for a skank?
Plenty of
Hey,
fish.
Last story you went to was called I Be Stanky.
Can you
I
spell?
thought it was Starship.
Can you spell skank for me? Apparently.
What was that last girl's name?
Shut up.
What was it? Catfish?
Let me tell you, you know what you and Andy Cagle have in common? He goes catfishing too, but he gets real ones. Well, so do you. Just for Fun Radio.
Hey guys, it's Alex.
Hey, it's Alex with Tech Talk, everybody. He's the smartest guy with Just for Fun Radio.
Yeah, don't try to suck up now. You've been pissing him off all morning.
No, it's fine. He's busting my nuts. That's all he's doing. It's fine.
Hey, is that the radio playing in the background? Turn that down if you can.
I'm outside. I think
okay.
just walked by
Sorry.
some guys
Sorry.
chatting. So, yeah. I mean, I know you're busting. You know, you give me a hard time, and because I've defended the concept of a minimum wage increase because there are other economic benefits.
There are benefits to it, right?
Yeah,
right. But that makes good radio. I mean, come on.
I've also said though, you know, that in the fast food industry, they'll just get automated out just like they started to in Europe.
Thank you. That's what I was going to say. They've already started
here.
Yeah,
they've already started here. Yeah.
You know, down on Fulton Industrial Boulevard, they did that stuff 20 years ago.
What are you
It didn't
doing
work.
hanging out down there?
Yeah, in that industry, it's completely pointless. But my idea, and I've pitched this to a number of politicians, and I don't think anything will ever come of it. But instead of implementing a higher minimum wage, what we should do, I think, is offer a tax subsidy to the employer to provide a further education benefit to the employee. In other words, they get X amount of dollars per month. It'll be paid for with a tax subsidy to the employer. Those people can then go off and get, you know, whatever they want to do, college education or a tech school or an apprenticeship or something. And then they can, if it's done by tax subsidy, then they have nothing to pay off to the employer. They have nothing that they owe then. But if it was done, let's say the government decided, in lieu of a minimum wage, we're just going to make the employer pay this. Well, then the employee, after they're trained or after they're educated, would stay with that employer for 2 or 3 years to help pay off that or pay back that debt. Anyway, it just makes more sense to me than a $15 minimum wage.
Yes, and there's that train.
There's the train. Perfect timing. That was cool.
Because it has much greater long-term benefits for the economy as a whole.
Yes.
Than a simple, Keynesian minimum wage, even though there are certain economic benefits to that minimum wage, they're not enough, I think, to justify it. So let's I mean, if we got to do something, we don't have to do anything.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, we've got to. Me and you say we got to do something because it's like, come on, man, we've got to do something because this is horrible. But the problem is, you're right. They don't have to do anything. They're just going to keep. I think it'll
just get worse.
Right. I think it's kind of like. Envision the wagon train when everybody was on the East Coast and they were going, okay, everybody, we're doing a wagon train to California, and everybody goes. And what happens to 2 or 3 of them wagons that kind of get stuck in the mud and everybody keeps trying to pull it, and then they go, Okay, just unload it, move to the next one. And I'm afraid that we are kind of to that point. Like, it's easier to not fix it and just try to find another way around it than it is to fix it. And I think we have band-aided this problem so long that nobody wants to rectify it. I remember back in the day installing stereos when I was 14. You would keep adding stuff to your stereo in your car until finally it just had a weird sound and blah, blah, blah. And it was easier for me to yank all of it out and put it back fresh with new wire crimps and everything else. I think when you keep putting black tape around problems and you're not really fixing the problem, you're not fixing it.
It's just gonna get
Right.
worse.
And for some reason we have politicians who think their job is to make new laws, right? I don't think it is. I think they should do nothing, and we've got plenty of laws, and let things ride, because you're right, there gets to a point where you can do too much and actually harm the situation. Like I said, while there are some economic benefits to a minimum wage, there's also a lot of economic downfalls, such as driving inflation and raising the cost of goods and services. So somebody that's making whatever $8.50 an hour now, even if they're making $15, if you take into account inflation and economic drivers, that $15 may only be worth what $8.50 is worth today anyway.
Right.
So you end up with either just a flat negative, not a negative benefit, but a you know what I'm saying? It just evens out.
Yeah.
So
Here's the thing too is, I mean, the way we're talking about this, we're actually taking the side of, we think the system is broken and not working almost exactly according to what the government wants.
Everybody keeps saying the government wants us to be dependable. I mean, dependence.
Obviously. I mean, that's the entire Democratic.
Well, it's kind of like
the ideology.
It's kind of like the idea behind this radio station. I'm not playing the corporate game, so therefore I created a way around it. I am being what you used to 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 100 years ago. I am now the person that is creating something because I don't want to play by the rules. And I think now every day there's so many, just do it this way and we'll pat you on your back. And what built America was the dream.
Yeah, here's the difference. So you have to create a product that's attractive to advertisers so that they come to you and sponsor your shows, right? Whereas the government will pander to whichever voting demographic is better for them by offering, in the case of the left, for example, free health care and expanded welfare programs to try and get those people dependent on them so that they're part of their voter base going forward. And that's obviously just the difference between a free market and a government-driven economy. Right. You have to provide a service that's attractive to people, whereas the government, in order to keep people dependent, have to give away as much free stuff as they can. And it's just not working. It hasn't worked, and it's working great for the Democrats.
That's what I was saying they're
getting more and more people hooked, but I think not working out for the economy.
I think actually we should take a second and look at that, and honestly, I think what we would find is the way the economy is, the way the inflation is going, the way the interest rates are going, is exactly the way the Democrats' ideology is laid out.
You know what gets me is all the Democrats are trying to say, well, it's the Republicans that did this and the Republicans did this. And then you go look at 90% of the gun laws that are trying to be restricted are the Democrats.
Look at the cities where the Democratic Party has been in control for like 20, 30 years. Like Detroit.
They're a mess.
Yeah, they're just
disaster.
Because that's the end result of their ideology is for that to occur.
Right. Here's my problem. Go ahead. I was just going to say, how does Americans keep expecting? I know this is an oxymoron. This is like a dog chasing its tail. It's a complete circle of reality not being real. How do this is a which came first, the chicken or the egg almost. How do the politicians think we can just keep doing this and giving money to the people? And how do the people keep thinking they can take money? But who's making the money? Like, where's this coming from?
Somebody has to make the money.
It's because the people, current, but the people who are currently in the system taking from the social programs aren't thinking about the future. They're not thinking about the generations down the road. All we have to do is look at Detroit. Look at a city that was run by Democrats and unions, and driven into the ground with social policies and unions effectively are minimum wage programs, right?
Absolutely.
And look what happened there. They drove up the cost of manufacturing to where it was pushed out of the country, and then nobody has jobs. And that's because the rest of the system was designed around a social welfare program as well. There was no balance to it. It was just give, or take, I should say, on the case of the people. And the entire city failed. An entire city went bankrupt and lost every bit of its manufacturing.
Kid Rock's from Detroit, right? Eminem's from Detroit, right?
Right.
Those two should put money together and buy most of Detroit and just start rebuilding it, and it'd be theirs.
Yeah, I mean, they could buy it for pennies on the dollar.
I mean, they could buy pennies on the dollar and look at their tax write-offs they would get and blah, blah, friggin' blah, and build it up to be what they want it to be and not what it is. I'm just throwing that out there. I think that would be an incredible idea.
I just
Mike, I need you to reach out to him on our behalf.
Turn it back into another music mecca.
Turn it into the northern Nashville.
I want to bring something up. When they do crime stats, it's always going to be a year or two behind. In 2014, take a guess how many criminal homicides there were in the Detroit city limits. Take a guess. This is freaking
in what period of time?
2014.
So in 1 year, the number of homicides in Detroit, I'm going to say about 12,000.
No, that would be freaking horrendous. 361.
In 1 year, that's nothing.
In city limits?
They have that. Oh, okay.
God.
Inside the city.
Yeah, inside the city limits.
They have that many in a month in Chicago.
Now, it's because it's getting worse. Now, here's the thing, too, is the response time for the law enforcement, which is very important. And that's something that people should look at when they're moving someplace is law enforcement response times. How long do you think it takes the cops? Now, this is inside the city limits. You call 911 by the time the cop shows up to the site. How long do you think it takes?
15 minutes.
17 minutes. Exactly right, sir. You must have Googled or something. But let me tell you something. Rigor mortis sets in 12 minutes. So you're dead instead.
I'll tell you, the reason I know this is because the National Health Service in England has been coming under fire for its ambulance response time.
Oh, okay.
So I've been comparing that to response times all over the world for different things.
Yeah. Isn't it weird the stuff we do?
It's irrelevant, but that's the only reason.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I think education is the key to the whole economy. And if Democrats claim to be the party of education, so instead of pushing a minimum wage, maybe try something else. Maybe try some kind of education benefit. Instead.
Alex, you didn't go to school in the United States, correct?
That's correct. I went to school in England.
And being that I've traveled around, I can tell you, and you tell me your opinion.
The massage parlor is not where you get an education. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying that the kids that go through school in the United States, and I'm just going to use myself. I'm not going to use my kids, but I'm going to say myself. Do you know that there was never a class that taught me about voting? There was never a class that taught me. Well, I mean, they taught me about Democrat and Republican because the elephant and the jackass, I know, and I knew what GOP stood for. Okay. A lot of people don't. I went to the highest math that my high school offered. I went to the highest science that my high school offered. I had 3 years of German, which was an extremely difficult language. So I pushed the limits on all this stuff. But here's the point I'm trying to make is, do you know that there wasn't one class on how to do a checkbook? There wasn't one class on investing. There wasn't,
because they didn't plan on you making any money.
Well, let me ask you a question, Mike. Did you know how to do that anyway? But other than being told it in school, did you understand the concepts behind, voting and civics and economics?
Would Common Core math work on a checkbook?
Because here's where I think the difference is. Back then, why would you have to teach a kid about voting when back then their parents would have taught them all about it, because family was tighter,
That's
family
right.
was closer. Family,
Yeah, but I mean, I came from a broken home, dude. I mean, my mother raised 3 boys, and then she was shot and killed when right after I turned 15. So
yeah, and and that's obviously that's unfortunate.
oh yeah,
but,
that's worst case scenario
yeah,
type stuff.
but I mean, I think we can agree that when we were in high school, things were very different, especially
Very.
when it came to family and family values.
well, and you
And
know what?
I learned more probably from my parents than I
Yeah.
ever learned in high
Okay,
school.
well, and that's cool. So now we can take it into that direction. Now you got guys like me, which I'm 51, so that really puts me right on the parent, right on the grandparent line. I'm the last year of the baby boomers. But here's the thing: is are parents teaching their children?
I don't believe they are as
I
much
don't either.
as
Not
as,
anymore. They're not.
you know,
They're
in the
letting the
past.
schools do it.
But the schools aren't doing it.
That's the
point.
problem.
That's the point I'm trying to make, is that our parents nowadays, are they relying on the schools? Because look, I'm here to
You
tell
can't
you,
rely on the schools to teach your kids. man.
I
You gotta
look
teach your
at what
kids.
my kids were bringing
But
home.
again,
I
is
look
it-
at what my son's doing at Southern Polytech, and I look at what my son is doing in
5 minutes before commercial.
middle school, and literally he goes to every single solitary class, and they give him a handout, and they don't teach anything.
yeah, but again, it's a difference between then and now. I mean,
Oh,
we've
yeah.
gone from we've gone from a country, parents depend on the schools more now, because we're in a position where both parents have to be working 50, 60 hours a week just to make ends meet. We didn't used to live like that. It used to be one member of the family could go out to work and have a good paying job and make enough to provide for their entire family, while the other parent was able to stay home, take care of the kids. When the kids got out of school, mom or dad, whatever,
Right.
was at home, they'd make them dinner, they'd sit down and do homework with them.
Right.
We don't live in that system anymore. We
Right.
live in a system where parents are so busy that the school has become their babysitter.
Okay,
That's
but
exactly right.
we know that the school's not doing the job. So now we have these kids that are basically, I don't want to say they're raising themselves, and I don't want to say that they're,
But they are.
well,
But they kind of
we
are.
had
having to
I
work
was a latchkey kid. I had a key around my neck, and when I got home, I knew I had to do my homework and blah blah blah. But here's what concerns me, is that if we're missing probably a generation or two of people that are going to be at least baseline educated, but yet social media and the TV and the radio and the Just for Fun radio, we're talking about paying these people $15 an hour, and they don't.
Yeah, I mean, bear in mind that probably will not happen here in Georgia, but I see where you're coming from.
I mean, because if
I
they
get
get 15, then all the other people are going to be pissed. Like all the guys that have been working for X number of years to try to get these raises, because they want to get raises based on work performance and being good employees and showing up every day and not calling out, and they show up with their pants pulled up. The thing that's going to piss them off is what happens when all these cats that have been working trying to get this $15 an hour, all of a sudden these piece of craps get $15 an hour, and then these other guys all go on strike.
Here's the thing.
The world stands still.
We've had this discussion at work among management, and we believe if they do implement a $15 minimum wage, it's going to be across the board. Obviously, what that will end up doing is
Killing
driving up salaries for our guys, because
Everybody.
Because
And
some
all of
our
a sudden, everything here, our economy will be overpriced, just like California, where a house that would only really be worth $64,000 all of a sudden would have to jump value up to $250,000.
Right. Well, this is where I was saying you've got to keep inflation under control as well. It can work. There is a model that could make it work, but the model we're using, in society in general, with borrowing massive amounts of money and,
how much more money can we owe China?
Exactly. Going more and more into debt. Obviously, I think if we up the minimum wage across the board, we're actually just going to up inflation, and it'll be a null effect. If we could have a working, what people refer to as trickle-down economics or supply-side economics, if we could get that working again, we could implement a living wage and grow the economy for everybody in a major way. But we're not going to do that. because we have a Congress that can't get together to, they couldn't organize a piss up in a brewery.
That's right.
Now. So
all I can say is it involves the word circle and who's the pivot man.
yeah, exactly. I think education is the key to all of it. If the Democrats claim to be the party of education, then, instead of focusing on a minimum wage, let's focus on higher education or further education.
That's right.
Doesn't need to be college. Again, that youth training scheme I talked about, where it gives a tax incentive to an employer to hire apprentices and get them trained up.
Yes.
I think that's a great idea, because right now, small businesses, they're looking to hire people with experience. They're not looking to take on an apprentice and train somebody.
That's right.
If you provide the incentive to a small plumbing company to take on a young guy or a young girl and train her up to where the cost to them is minimal.
Yes.
But the person learns and develops a trade skill that can make them hundreds of thousands of dollars down the road.
Well,
let's do that.
I tell you
All right,
what,
we got to wrap this up, y'all. We're 40 seconds.
I was going to say that that makes a tremendous amount of sense, and of course our sponsors want to hear from us too. So
that's right.
We got to run the advertisement page.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in.
Bills to pay. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. See you later.
See you, dude.
All right, y'all. Make sure you check out Tech Talk on Tuesday nights. Tonight we got the Guru of Rock doing his thing. Everybody, hang tight. We'll be right back.
And then you turn around and you say, okay, you're going to go $15. Where is that
But
money going to come from?
let me ask you this. If you raise minimum wage to $15 an hour, what are you going to do to the people that are already making $15?
Well, no, that's what we were talking about. You would have to bring it up.
Have to compensate.
If not, there'd be rioting in the freaking.
And people would just stop doing what they're doing.
Yeah. And you know what? I've actually listened to Democrats. And here's what they do is they got this great come from.
Money tree, man.
They do what's Howard or Herman Cain calls sin. The first thing they do is start quoting stuff.
Well, let's put the United States even.
They insult you, and then the next thing start name calling. They don't. Look, a business.
Let's just put the United States in even more debt and borrow more money.
My brother's business, it ain't it's just a man. How could he go from what he pays his employees an hour? Here's what he would have to do. He'd have to let somebody go.
Right.
And use what he was paying them and divide it amongst the rest.
Right.
And then this one state is clifting it. So they're going to go to like $10. Same job. You stay in that same job.
What is the minimum wage now? Is it
$7.20?
And it's been that for forever, it seems like.
Well, that's because you know what it was when I first started?
65 cents.
Do I have insult me written on my damn chest?
I wasn't listening, but wait. I just see her smile, and I'm like, yay, successful work. You did something good. She is starting to blend in.
To hell with all
She has learned. She's learned what punching bag Mike is for. Not
right.
Mike's punching bag, of course, but Mike the punching bag.
What the hell? Yeah, turn off the mic a second. So
Hold, please. So because she's here as a guest, we have to pick on you, you idiot.
Don't get your feelings hurt.
I don't have
You're an
feelings
idiot.
anymore.
You're an idiot.
Working here, I want my $15 an hour.
Don't get your
You're an
charcoal
idiot.
drawers all in one.
If I had to raise your pay, it would be 3 peanuts and a Sprite instead of one peanut. In a
Did you
Sprite.
say peanut?
Say?
Circus peanuts. Yum, yum.
Bull peanuts.
Oh God. There's a place like up near Ellen that's supposed to have the best boiled peanuts.
You don't eat them?
Well, I mean, I'm
That's
just
like
not.
eating oysters.
I'm not.
Just
I don't eat oysters.
at all.
No, I might eat a fried oyster if it's done correctly.
I love oysters.
What you're talking about? Like shucking them and
I don't shuck them
You
because
just
I
throw it
paid
back
for
and
them
let
already
it
to be
slide,
shut.
You know?
oh God, they
It reminds him when he was in jail. He can't do that anymore.
can taste like snot.
You
Well,
just
that's
don't-
why
don't
you
taste it.
Put horse.
why do you
radish
eat
and
it?
Stuff.
You put hot sauce, horseradish,
Why don't you just
saltines.
shoot that in your mouth with?
A cracker.
What in your
What do you
mouth?
call me a cracker for? Damn
You
this
are a
show!
cracker.
Damn this show!
Are you having a show tomorrow? Speaking of shows,
The funeral's at 1, so I'm gonna probably have one.
so would that be a yes for tomorrow?
I'm aiming for it. Yes, I may not,
That was
but
a
I'm
clear
aiming for it.
deflection.
Well, I'm trying to decide
Are
in
you gonna
memory
have a
of
show?
should we not
Well,
have a
it's
show,
gonna
but I don't
rain.
know. Shut up.
So that way I would know to bring him a box of saltines.
Oh yeah. All right, go back live now. Hurry.
Call me names.
And we're back.
Am I-
So listen, I just
I'm offended.
I don't care if you're
you
fat.
stay offended.
God.
My
So
gosh.
back in 2006 in Hawaii, a gallon of milk was $8 a gallon. Just good luck with your inflation. So there you go. In 2006. So what would it be now? Type it in there. You got your amazing and wonderful droid, and you're not doing nothing but trying to flirt with young girls. Would you hurry up and dig up the price of what does a gallon of milk cost in Hawaii in today's
Why?
inflation?
Why?
Now,
Why?
here's my question. If the economy keeps getting screwed up and they keep screwing up the dollar, our currency used to be, and this isn't a fact, Alex, I don't have it in front of me, but we're going to say,
Allegedly.
we're going to say in the law of averages, our currency, like our money was worth more than most countries' money, right? So
Was.
how funny is it now? Because I remember the Mexicans, the reason that they liked making money here and they would wire transfer at home is because, our money versus their pesos, by the time they did the exchange, they'd end up with a bunch of pesos that pay their bills down there. I get that. I understand it.
Like the way you say peso.
But now, what is
Why are you
what is it?
knocking on the
Is the
country
Mexican money just as good as ours at this point?
Yeah. Well.
Are you pulling up the gallon of milk?
But it's okay. This is a liter. I don't have it by the gallon. A liter of milk is $1.74. So multiply that by 4.
Sure is helping me.
So it's still going to be around $7.50, $8.
See?
But is that because they don't have a lot of cows on the islands? I've never been there, so I don't really know. But yeah, I'm sitting here looking at the prices of stuff. 12 eggs is $4.75. But Hawaii is it's expensive to live there too. I mean, I was supposed to go there with Schofield Barracks.
Which is the point. If you keep screwing up our economy,
Mhm.
you're going to take what makes the film crews come here instead of Hollywood is they say it's cheaper. Well, if we keep goofing up our economy, we're going to be just as screwed up as LA and just as screwed up as New York.
Okay, so what would be your suggestion to straighten out the economy?
Do not pay $15 an hour to an idiot that can't put his pants up.
Right.
There is no effing reason I should go into McDonald's and see the kid behind the register's underwear. What happened where McDonald's said you have to tuck your shirt in? Now they're pulling the boys are getting shirts too big so that they can wear them over their underwear while their pants are sagging. And the management isn't even stopping it because hell, the management's dressing that way. I can't understand why it is a requirement for the people to work there to either wear a hairnet or a hat. Why is management not doing it? Management's running in the kitchen preparing food too. Management's doing everything that all the employees are doing, and the management looks just as sorry as the people with their underwear showing.
Yeah. Well, I mean
My opinion, and I'm entitled to it.
You hit it right. Management. Their
Starts at
management.
the-
Yeah.
should start at the top.
Everything that I complain about in this county has to do with management.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's truthfully where it is. Look, I before I retired, I was always in a management or supervisor role, and I'm not the best dresser in the world. I do work and do all that other stuff. I had a pretty good record. But here's the thing is that if you let one of them do it, You got to let all of them do it. Now that's the saying. Now, personally, no, I'm the manager. I can let you do it and not let you.
But then
do
they're
it.
going to start screaming.
Well, then you tell them to shut up.
Right.
But now this is old school. I'm old school. So I could definitely not be a supervisor in today's world.
All right, now look. This right here, unfortunately, is February 19th, 2014, because I can't find a more updated one.
Right.
And it says the top 15 countries the U.S. dollar is worth more. Vietnam, Mexico. What is that one?
Indonesia.
Is that Indonesia?
Yep.
Peru, Romania,
India.
Is
Guatemala.
that Guatemala?
Morocco.
Morocco. I got some Moroccos upstairs. Hey, that looks like a skull. Iceland. Well, hell, who really lives in Iceland?
Well,
Because
here's
it's
hold
green.
on.
Because it's green.
And what is that? Laos?
Laos, near Cambodia. Here's the thing. Everything that you just named, except for
Those are all
Iceland,
poor countries. How is it that let me ask you a real stupid question. And this is ridiculously stupid, but I got to know. Why is the U.S. dollar not worth more than any money in Haiti? Like, Haiti is the most disgusting place ever.
Yeah.
Like, people are just friggin' praying they can get on a boat to get out of there and possibly take a chance of drowning to get out of there. How is our dollar not worth more in Haiti?
Yeah,
I mean, is that like a reality check for everybody?
Mhm.
Well, I mean,
that's got to be a reality check.
I know, but
And that's in 2014. That's before we even started getting where we are now.
But we can't point out, seriously.
We can't point out. Sure, we can.
We can't point out a problem without coming up with some type of solution. I mean,
I can point out problems all day long.
I know, but you
Don't mean I got to fix it. That's what our country does.
You gotta have something. You gotta at least, we got to come up with something. So what should we do? Should we vote?
Of course, every one of us has to vote and come up with some kind of plan.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you're voting, are you voting for Hillary? Are you voting for Bernie?
I can't vote for a criminal.
That's just more the same.
I just can't vote for a woman that should be locked up. I can't. I'm sorry.
I still say that the DOJ is going to get
Here's two pieces of good advice. Number one, ask Geico about renter's insurance.
There's no reason that should have started. That's some of them stupid pop-ups.
Oh, that was crazy for a second.
Go ahead.
So, I like I said, vote. Okay, yeah, but if you're voting for Hillary,
how do you vote
Bernie,
for a criminal, man?
Well, there certainly is a lot of them that are.
Oh, and all the milk is shipped over there, by the way.
Okay, see that now I can understand why it's expensive. Have you ever heard of the theory on the egg? You got to have the chickens, you got to have the house, you got to feed them, all that other stuff. How much does one single egg cost to produce as opposed to how much you can charge for it? You ever heard that theory?
Bits and pieces.
Yeah, because basically an egg costs less than a penny to get it to the grocery store.
Right.
But the deal is that's based on you getting like 1 million eggs to the freaking grocery store. Yeah.
Yes.
So, it's when you look at economics, there is a lot of depth to it. Are we going to fix it? I think, and here again, everybody go ahead and send your hate mail to Mike's Big Ass.
I'm afraid that the depression will occur again.
Well, I think Trump's going to be the president, and Trump's going to piss a lot of people off.
Hey, I do it every day. It's successful.
Because let me tell you something, there is nothing near and dear to my heart than when you're part of an organization and somebody's being a dipwad and somebody points it out. Now, it's usually me, and I usually get in trouble for it, but there's a change going on in our country now. And I think that we elect a wild man, a businessman who's going to look at the government like a business, and everybody's going to say, Mike, the government is the government. It's not a business.
But it is.
You know what?
It still is.
China screws around with their currency to screw our currency.
Yes.
To do it on purpose. Now, China's economy, if you ever read or study it, it's a very fine line right now. They're spending so much on their military and stuff like that. And
you got to wonder why, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
I wonder why. And the thing
anytime a country starts building a superpower,
yeah,
it's not because they just want to.
Yeah.
I mean, hello, I'm wanting to build a wall around my house to protect me from the idiots on the road.
Right.
So if they learn to climb a 4-foot fence, then I have to build a 6-foot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they learn to climb a 6, I got to build an 8. You don't build an army if you don't find a reason to build an army.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, that, and then let's just take something that happened recently in the news, and we talked about it. Carmike Theaters was bought by AMC. Now, ironically enough, Easter, when our family was getting together, one of the kids that he's down the line, I don't really know him that well. He had to run to work. He works for Carmike. I said, "Hey, didn't AMC just buy him?" He goes, "Yeah. In about 2-3 months, we'll be changing over and all this stuff." I said, "Did you know that AMC is owned by a Chinese corporation?" He just looked at me and went, "No, what difference does that make?" And I'm like, now the theaters are media. Theaters have people sitting in them before the movies, and the stuff that comes up is programmed.
Yes.
Now the Chinese own 900 theaters, and God knows how many screens that is. Do you realize that they could put up one
subliminal messaging?
Well, no, I'm saying real messaging. They can put up 15 seconds on every one of those theaters for every time a movie's played and pretty much sway your opinion any direction they want it to go. And people are going to just sit there and go, "Oh, wow, we should be buying Zhaozing energy drink."
Just, you never know what happens.
Look,
you just never know what
there
happens.
There are a lot of smart people. Yeah, we sit here at the ground level and we say, "Oh, the politicians are a bunch of dumbasses." Let me tell you something. These people are smart and they know what the hell they're doing. And when Nancy Pelosi gets up there and says that,
and Alex is getting into the whole currency thing. I understand how it works, Alex, but the point is, our money isn't what it used to be.
Nope.
That's what the point was. That's exactly the point. They keep printing more money, and the question has already began about how can we keep printing more money when Fort Knox hasn't grown?
Nope.
Well, our dollar hasn't been backed by gold reserve in years, since I believe the 70s.
Right. That's all the stuff that's being talked about over the last year. More and more people are starting to go, how do we keep printing money when we don't really have anything to back it on?
We have to print basically about $1 billion of new money every
year. I got that.
Not every year.
What I'm saying is, I get that. But the point is, they're saying we really have no collateral for the money we're printing now.
No, we don't. We haven't in years.
I know. Yeah. And that's the point.
Yeah. The Chinese will devalue their currency on purpose to throw ours
off,
spiral. Then once it goes down, because what do? You buy low, you sell high.
Sell high.
So they will purposely do it.
That's right. That's why the Dow Jones is getting back and forth so much.
It's freaking illegal as hell. But
just for fun radio.
Yeah, just calling in. Wanted to talk to Mike.
Yes. Yes.
Did he try to sleep with your wife? I am deeply sorry.
What's up, caller?
I wanted to make a comment to Mike and who's the host this morning?
Abby.
Yes.
djscottie.
Really, Mike?
djscottie's the host. You're a guest co-host.
Yes.
You're just a pretty face.
Well,
so you just sit there. You don't say nothing. You're a girl.
All right, back to the caller. Can the caller get his words in?
Probably not.
You know what? Just for that, I'm going to bring you some more charcoal.
Oh, stop.
Caller, I'll go right ahead.
Okay. United States prints $500 million a year. Okay. And what you need to realize is you're on a chopping block. You're the only thing that stands in the way of real freedom. This is why they destroyed your currency. And when you pay your taxes, you pay to the IMF, International Monetary Fund. The IMF is totally going to try to destroy you. That's, Saudi Arabia makes $1 billion a day on their oil. It's all about destroying you. You're in the way of New World Order. What you're looking at is a big-time currency war.
But where's it going to go?
Want to use your currency for purchasing oil?
I know, but what are they looking at? Okay, so there's a group of people, the Illuminati, whatever, the freaking anonymous folks, whatever, whoever it is that's running this show. What is the end result? What is it that they expect? I mean, like something
to destroy you and turn you into a third world country. And to your remarks about Hawaii, they don't have the grazing lands. You were correct. They don't have the grazing land. And if you notice, many of my friends were raising chickens. You cannot raise chickens in your backyard anymore to get your own eggs. Every day you'd have fresh eggs. You cannot do that.
It
And
just
they
depends
claim
on
it-
where
they-
you live.
Yeah, well,
claim
now
it's
they're passing all these
bird
new
flu, but we have
laws.
I'm sorry?
I was going to say now they're passing all these new laws to where they're okay. Used to, like Gwinnett County, you could not have livestock, anything that was considered farm-ish, pigs, cows, horses. Well, it's the only way to word it.
Agriculture.
Chickens. Well, no, but when you try to say agricultural, how many people even know what that means anymore?
They
So,
don't.
That's the
They
problem.
just go to the
So-
store.
So that's why Gwinnett County, I just remember because I lived there for 14 years, in DeKalb County as well. You couldn't have those in residential areas. Well, now all of a sudden, because of the Mexicans, and anybody can say whatever the hell they want, but most of the Mexicans are bringing their own chickens now, having them around the house, and all these people are moving in these suburban areas, and it's causing a stink. So that now they're having to rewrite this law about that you still can't have cows, pigs, but now you can have a couple of chickens, but they're supposed to stay in your yard. But now on the news, every day you're hearing about the neighborhood raising hell because there's roosters running through other people's yards.
But look, if you think about it, you just named off Gwinnett County, a suburb
Right. And
of
actually,
Atlanta.
I'm from DeKalb County and lived in Gwinnett County, and I can assure you, what you're witnessing is the largest extortion scheme ever in world history. You are paying out the nose on everything. They
Yes.
want to totally destroy you. Your government is not on your side.
Yeah, dude, when I moved out of Gwinnett, they were trying to charge me taxes on a house. They're trying to say the house, and this was in the fall of the economy, the house they're trying to tax me on, saying it was worth $190,000. I had just got it refinanced with an FHA loan, so I didn't have to have it approved again.
Right.
Because the original company that was trying to approve it, when I bought the house, it was $130,000. I bought it in 1999. When they went through the other company that I was going to get refinanced for, they said that it had dropped down to $80,000. But yet Gwinnett County wanted to tax me on a $190,000 house. It's like, are you smoking crack?
I can explain that for you. What that is that's felony fraud because those are legal documents. There is no way, I'm in that industry. There is no way, if you bought in at $80,000 like I did on Lake Lanier, okay, they had me $10,000 less. I contacted my commissioner and chief of police and explained to them it's felony fraud because, number one, you can't just price out or value the house for what you want it to be worth. A 2x4 cost over $3.
With that being said, have you seen what's happening right now in the city of Decatur? A woman bought a house as an investment. Okay, so she's paying taxes on it, and it's valued, and this is no lie, it's valued at $190,000. That's what her taxes were paid for like 2 years as this investment house. $190,000 for 2 years. All of a sudden, it jumped up $100,000, right? So $290,000 is what the tax people want. So she missed the deadline to complain by like a day. And now Fox 5 is doing a thing about it. And what the tax people are saying is, well, we remodified it to make a better growth for our community or something along those lines. And the woman's like, but you can't just raise the property tax based saying the house is worth $100,000 more than it is because I can't sell it for that.
Yeah, the tax assessor will do that for obviously to increase the property taxes that are getting paid.
But the house ain't worth that in fair market value.
Yeah, but here's what it is once the tax assessor says it's worth that, now she can go get a loan, and the interest that she pays is what drives this false economy.
Right.
Man, it's
exactly.
just insane.
It's all deception, and that is totally
smoke and mirrors, man.
Number one, you cannot change a legal document because you want to. We caught them here in Forsyth County on the lake. They were doing the same thing. When I spoke with the commissioner, he said, you're exactly right. It's a no-brainer because it was counterproductive. You're destroying a huge industry. And that's what they want to do. What they want
I just
zero productivity.
Well, I just don't understand the end result here. What are we looking at? The city in Mortal Kombat, the movie where all the lights are out and we're burning trash to eat? I mean, is that what we're looking? Is that the end result? What is it that they're trying to accomplish?
That's what it looks like.
But what would that do? They won't make any more money.
No.
Well, the best thing to do is to realize you have real enemies. Okay. And what do you do with, Mike there's military. Think, stink, and act and try to realize what your enemy does.
Right.
Then, now it's all about leverage. Okay. So you want to put leverage on them. and make them stop their wrongdoings. Because about the currency thing, our dollar is not worth the denim or ink is going to go way over the cost of the dollar. Dollar's only worth about 3 cents.
Well, okay, and since you brought that up, I need to make a correction on that and we're about to go to commercial. I apologize, but we got to
we're down to 2 minutes.
Listen, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing produces 38 million notes a day with a face value of approximately 541 million. So they're printing up. You had said a year earlier, caller. I just wanted to make sure that our listeners understood that you meant basically 500 million a day. And then here's the other part. Now, this I found was interesting, is because 95% of the notes printed every year end up out of circulation. Isn't that interesting? So only 5% of the money they print every year sticks around. The rest of it gets, hell, I don't know where it goes, but.
Your vote means nothing on the presidential candidacy because the delegates decide, and the delegates are insiders.
Yeah, that's a big jump right there from our personal opinion or public opinion to the delegates. That's a whole discussion for another show. Listen, we're going to have to go to break. Okay.
Yeah, we got to shoot to
I
commercial.
appreciate you calling in, and it seems like you got some good insight. We'd like to hear more from you.
And definitely on that topic, you could call into the World According to Mike, man.
Yeah,
That'd light up that night.
I believe,
and even Alex show.
Yeah, Alex would be a great one. You guys could get into some deep conversations about that. But we appreciate it, and we got to go and pay the bills. So we will talk with you later.
Thanks for calling in.
Yep, we appreciate it.
Thank you for receiving my call.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Have a good day.
Bye.
All right, and look, we got a few seconds left. I was going to toss this out. How about the other night? It was a weekday night. A lady calls Pizza Hut, orders $45-ish of pizza, gives the guy $50. It's counterfeit. But they couldn't trace back to exactly where it came from. Like, they have the license, I mean, the address, whatever, but they didn't know for sure if it was her. Next day, the guy had just brought pizza to me and he said, hey, man, he pointed to the bus. He says, you need to let people know, don't accept 50s in Rockdale County right now. I was like, well, what's up? He said, well, last night a lady slipped us a 50 and it's counterfeit. He says, and she just did it again 5 minutes ago. He says, I just got back. We were fixing to do this, and this. My manager took the money to the bank, and they flagged it again. He says the ironic part was it's the same woman I delivered to last night. He said Rockdale's on the way to the pizza place now. So he's like, just anybody in this area, be careful. Be careful accepting a 50.
Well,
I wrote the number down in the bus. He said to check the serial number. He said because it's the same serial number on every one of these 50s.
You know that that you get local law enforcement. Local law enforcement's got to call GBI.
Oh, Secret Service.
Call
And they
Secret
gotta come
Service,
get it.
Department of Treasury.
Yep.
And everybody's got to be interviewed.
$50 bills in Rockdale. Everybody be careful. Allegedly, I don't want anybody pissed off.
And remember,
allegedly,
the way the law reads about counterfeit money is if you are in possession,
if you're passing it, it's yours, baby.
If you are in,
it's like herpes. It don't matter who gave it to you. It's yours, baby. It's yours.
Oh my
God!
God,
We're going to a commercial. We'll be right back.
Now that's the way you go to a commercial.
Just like herpes.
It's just like herpes. It's yours.
Doesn't matter who gave it to you. That's funny as hell right there.
Look, the other day I was just goofing around and I found this list of 10 famous people who were badass soldiers.
All of them.
Right. There's a door there.
Did you just run into the freaking door frame?
He did. It was like,
There's a door
Shut
frame.
up so I can talk. Look at me.
sing. Sing in your sexy voice.
I swear.
Sing.
Stop. You're not touching. I'm not touching you.
How'd the Brago thing last night? Is it on video? Do I need to watch it? Did you put on a brassiere? Oh!
But get this.
What are you talking about?
It couldn't get it latched.
Oh, so you're wider. The boobs aren't bigger, but you're a bigger body.
Obviously, I'm bigger than
He's
a
bigger.
38 double D.
No, you're not bigger than the boobs though.
No, he would be like what, a
No,
40A?
I think we were guessing around a 50.
A 50A? B?
No, I'm a double D. Shut up. Your boobs.
Hell, it took me 2 kids to get what I got. So
These
yeah.
are mine.
Well, these are mine too.
Mine. These aren't fake.
Mine aren't fake.
You should see the reception you get when you tell people. These are my real boobs.
I would hope so. Bust it. You gotta fight. God, I'm popped. What it is I finally got my back worked out with the massage, right? Well, then last 3 days, having to get up, down, lean up, and I've been working on the bike. And
And you finally got the bike back. What'd you have done to it yesterday? I thought you took it to get.
Oh, I took it. I ended up having to work on it. He just helped me fix it.
Oh.
He did the technical
With the
stuff.
sledgehammer?
No, he took it apart. I took it apart. He did the fine tuning, and I had to put it back together.
So what was wrong with it?
It was like that, like we talked about. I had to
So he
realign.
tweaked it
Yeah,
back?
it's all relined, but you have to take the whole front end apart. Like
So it don't vibrate?
the fairing had to come off. All that stuff. It's called a nacelle. All that chrome that Phillips has around the headlight. That's actually 2 pieces, but you have to take the headlight out. And then everything that holds the headlights got to come out. And then the parts that sit on top of the handlebars hold that together.
Right.
So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You or me?
5 things. 5 things you have to take apart after you take the windshield off. Just to be able to do that and take those 2 things off to get to the next.
So how did he readjust?
You had to redo all of it. I had to take all that apart so he could get to the actual down tubes and then loosen them up, readjust them, tighten them back down.
So when you wrecked, it did all that.
Because what happened is you got to figure my handlebars and fairing. When it landed, the wheel goes smash, right? Because it pushed the wheel that way. The front tire turned. Well, the problem is my handlebars and my fairing hit the ground and pushed that way. So
it
that's
just
why it was
twisted.
like that.
That's where all the vibration was.
Yeah, the vibration.
You eating?
Nunya.
Well, damn. I didn't
Need
want
some
it
Skittles.
anyway.
I got me some Skittles.
Hope they're sour ones.
Those are disgusting.
Oh, you're right.
These are. I've never had these before. These are called orchards. Had these?
No, that's why I was asking. I saw they were Skittles.
But regardless,
red
all the up and
apple,
down work.
orange, lime, peach. Doesn't that sound good?
All I heard was cherry.
I'm sure. Haven't heard that in a while. Red apple, orange, lime, peach, and cherry.
Oh, guess what we're doing? Oh, no, we're not. They decided not to.
We're making meth.
So I'm doing a wedding in the backyard Monday, and I was
Backyard here.
on my gazebo. I was trying to get them to let me do it live during the show right here Tuesday
That'd be
morning,
awesome.
and now they got scared.
But it gets scared.
I'm like, man, wouldn't that be so awesome?
Anybody like some Skittles other than our guest?
I'd like for you to shut up and get back on the microphone.
They're frozen.
Don't let him taste the rainbow.
Oh, they're delicious. Don't try to bite them.
It smells like he put something in them.
Hey.
That joke about chloroform?
Yeah, great.
And it talks about chloroform.
If you smell chloroform on the Skittles, don't bite them.
I haven't ate them yet.
They're frozen.
And we're back.
I have a message that says, turn on the big mic. It's cutting out.
Well, it's,
Yeah, somebody turn on Big Mike.
Turn him on or turn him off?
On.
Here.
and somebody speak.
Look, hang
I'm
on.
eating Skittles.
He's got a mouthful.
Mm-hmm.
Here. What's the only pickup line guaranteed to work every time?
Chloroform.
What?
Does this rag smell like chloroform to you?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Why are you starting to sound like him? Have you been here that long?
I have.
It's cool.
Here, this is from Mike.
One,
Also.
she ain't even been here a week yet, and her mind's twisted. And well, it was already that because she's with
It's
him,
just
but
more warped now.
more warped.
Nah, you
Look,
ain't blaming that shit
this
on me.
Her mind is like a microwaved Tupperware lid.
Yep.
With
Except it
peeps
don't
on
make
it.
the noise. Anyway, here's another one from
Not what I
Mike.
heard.
What was who?
She's pretty easy to confuse, huh?
I know, right? It's all the blonde.
Yeah, it's a pretty girl.
Look, sex is a sensation caused by temptation.
She can't get through it. You can't
Where?
do it.
I will do it.
Sex?
Last night. I'm just kidding.
What? Where do you find these people?
She's just as screwed as you. Now we're talking about the SEX after 9 o'clock. Come
Man,
on.
I'm watching weather patterns over here.
What?
Oh my
Whatever.
God. Is that what you do when you get older? I mean, you're going to be coming in with the friggin' newspaper like my grandfather.
Nah, man. Print paper's going out, man. So is money.
I know that.
Yeah,
It's,
money's-
it's a
it's-
joke. I'm making reference to you being like my grandfather. You already walk around with no
He's
underwear
not that
on.
much older than you.
He's not
You
that
want
much
a
older
Skittle?
than my grandfather.
You want a Skittle?
Give him a Skittle. Give him
A
a
Skittle.
cherry.
No, I've got the
That
new
dude ain't
orchard.
seen one of those in years.
I know, right?
Oh, no, truthfully.
What was that?
Check this out. This is the new orchard flavor Skittles. They come
They're
in
frozen.
red
They
apple.
smell like chloroform.
You've ruined my joke. God, dog it. Freaking, where do we
Mike,
find these
you're an
guest co-hosts?
idiot.
They have red apple, orange,
You are
lime,
an
peach,
idiot.
chloroform, and cherry. They are good, aren't they?
They're
They're
good.
tasty. He doesn't like when we eat on the radio, though. What just happened?
How about you just mind your own business?
Did he?
It's a freaking radio show.
Business.
So, whoa.
Look, hey, did you also see? You remember the original Texas Chainsaw movie?
I saw it at the skating ring. How funny is that?
Oh,
First time I ever saw it, man.
You know
I was
the
like 12
location
years old, and
Backward
they
skate.
They
Right.
played it on the big screen.
being chased
chainsaw skate.
Yeah. Skate
By
like somebody's
Leatherface.
chasing you.
by. But look, no, these people.
Oh my God, that's funny. Skate like somebody's chasing you. Black kids, help the white kids.
Shut up! You're an idiot. God, you can't take him anywhere.
Nope. He brings in chloroform Skittles.
You're an idiot.
All right, now, hey, you. It's your turn.
What? Who am I asking for again?
Corey.
Yeah, because that's
Corey.
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 Because we got to.
Yeah, it's a birthday. Right?
His.
I hope he answers for it.
Not
He hears
her.
it.
His.
His.
Do I do it in a stupid voice or
Sure.
just me? Okay.
Do it in your sexy voice.
Your voice is.
Hello,
Is Corey there?
this is him.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Corey. Happy birthday to you. Woo!
I thought you were gonna sing like
Thank
Mariah
you.
Carey, dude.
That was Mariah
That
Carey.
was Mariah.
Yeah, on meth.
Oh.
I
It's
was
our
gonna
new
say that
weight
sounded
program.
Like
Hey
Elvis
man,
on
I
the
just wanted to
toilet.
call and mess with you. I know I owed you a phone call, so here you are, a lovely, whopping 26 years old.
Oh man, you're just still a pup.
I'm old weather.
You're
He's
not
old weather.
Old weather. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, you have a great day, and we will talk at you here later. I just want to make sure we caught you for your birthday.
Cool.
Thanks, man.
All right.
see
Happy
you later.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
All right,
All right, bye.
bye.
So he sent me a message yesterday, and he talks into his phone apparently like I do. So the message says, "Don't forget tomorrow, doing burgers." So I send back, "Doing burgers? You taking me to lunch?"
You have to admit, some of your messages are really screwed up, dude.
Oh, wait. Let me just read to you this.
You don't.
No. I want you to hear this. So there's a girl that's supposed to be doing something for me.
Oh yeah.
Some business. And I use the
Wow.
words, tell me where to bring the bike so you can personally do the measurements, blah, 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 blah. And then I said, now listen, it's supposed to have said, I am a simple cut and dry person. If you want me there at 10, you tell me 10. Don't say, well, we'll try to get to you this week. I just point blank, tell me when to be there. So it was supposed to say, I am a simple cut and dry person. And it says, I am a strong mole cut and dry person.
Wow.
I am a strong mole cut. What the hell?
Apparently, artificial intelligence hasn't caught up to friggin' autocorrect.
Strong mole cut. Excuse me. Strong mole cut. And it was supposed to be it's supposed to be simple cut and dry. And it says a strong mole cut and dry person. Ay, ay, ay. This friggin' phone will be the death of me.
This one girl that I was dating a while back there, she said,
Who,
love.
catfish?
Just a fishing.
Did you go noodling?
He tried to put his hand in her mouth. She bit him. She says, I don't do nothing with my mouth. That costs extra.
I know, right?
No kissing.
Did you play with the whiskers?
No huggy. No kissy till she gets a wedding ring.
Till she gets a debit card.
People
all-
are
You
gonna,
guys done now?
people are gonna
Catfish
hate
my
us.
joke? Yeah.
No,
they're gonna
your
hate
life
it.
is your joke. Wait, did I say that out loud?
Man, that's kind of mean, dude.
That was me.
I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Sure
I
you did.
didn't mean to turn you on.
Oh my God, let's talk about that.
I know, right?
So we have this contest right before.
Trying to turn me
Shut up!
Yes.
Right before we did the drag show, I did a contest where I wanted people to get up and lip sing to a song.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like karaoke, but it's a lip sync song. So Philip Snow decides he wants to sing "I Didn't Mean to Turn You On," which is okay.
But who did he sing
Until
to?
he takes this guy we know named Michael Faulkner
Up
out
on
of the
stage.
out of the crowd, puts him in a chair and sings to him like it's a woman.
That's good. Good acting.
Good what?
Or
He
role
even had
playing.
Even had a rose and like a shirt with
He
a
had a bow
vest and a
tie.
bow tie on
okay, that's going a little bit too far.
and snakeskin boots. Was it?
That
No,
is-
ostrich.
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 There's
He's ostrich.
that's a little bit.
I hope he wasn't wanting to put his head in the hole.
Oh!
Where's my
He
gross
can't find
button?
it.
You suck.
I was watching a Howard Stern clip.
I got moly.
I was watching a Howard Stern clip last night, and you know that they do a lot of these same sound effects.
He did. He did all of them himself.
Isn't that weird? Howard Stern has. Well, he's not pushing the buttons. I think his.
Yes, he
producer-
has. He
Robin.
has an engineer that does all
Yeah,
that.
and I think
He wasn't pushing buttons that day.
Well, he
I
was.
believe
he
me,
was
he's
trying to-
pushing buttons.
some of the stuff he says is just stupid.
It's
Out
all
there.
shock jock.
Oh,
shock
God, he's
shock
just-
jock. Mine's not shock jock. I'm more just a funny guy. I mean, naturally, I am this guy.
He just says stuff now. It's like he's not even interested anymore. He's
Well,
just
how many
kinda-
years has he been doing it? You know what I mean?
Since what, the 60s?
Yeah, he's at least early 70s. But he's making his money. You know.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
no, he's still doing the show. But the show was. I haven't watched the show in probably 10 years, and it was.
Yeah, I used to
It
watch
was
it on the
bad.
Entertainment Network,
Yeah,
E
same here.
channel or whatever.
Yeah,
Right.
same here. And it used to actually
Back when
be
I didn't
funny,
know any better.
But the same Dave Chappelle was on there, and you figured that would be funny.
And
And
it wasn't.
even Dave Chappelle was kind of like, "Damn, this is just."
Well, how sad was it that we had a comic call in one time, and I was funnier than the comic, and there was people sending me messages.
Yeah,
remember that?
one day? It was about a year.
I
and a
was
half
funnier
ago.
than the guy on the phone.
Yeah,
and
it
it's
was
just like,
bad.
holy cow.
It was because I remember going, "Dude,
Yep.
are you really a
Yeah, I mean,
comedian?"
and
He thought he was. Closet.
and he was on television,
yeah,
and I was funnier than him.
he was bad. It was
That's why
Where
that's why I way before Mike, I was wanting to do a stand-up show a couple years back.
Where did the guy come from?
We're doing it now, and it's going to be we haven't really named it. But
Well,
it's-
there ain't a name. It's just for fun.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're going to do a lot. We want to do
No,
a
I mean that's the
live-
name. It's just for fun. How are you going to do a world? How do you do a World According to Mike comedy show? There's nothing funny about the World According to Mike. How do you call a comedy show
How
the
would
World?
you know?
How do you call a comedy show
We didn't even come down last
World
night.
According to Mike?
That's not what you said earlier.
Well,
He
he
said
came,
he did.
but we gave the baby
Look it
a teddy bear,
I came down with the boss.
and
That's-
yeah, he was down here for 10 seconds.
I had to
last
show.
night.
I was more than that. I had to show him how to hook everything up.
He must have been down here long enough to see you didn't take your trash out.
No, that's you know what? That is an unsubstantiated bitch or complaint because I always take the trash.
Allegedly.
What was the other word? Allegedly really means what? Because like whatever means F
Whatever,
you, so
whatever is polite F you.
allegedly must be something else.
I don't know.
That's
We-
the other word for you assume.
Allegedly is this might be true. No, but I was told when you're making comments such as I have heard through people who've come to me to give me information on stuff, I have to use the word allegedly until I provide proof.
Yeah, well, I know you have to do that on the morning show. But
So allegedly you get.
yeah,
No, I'm leaving that alone.
yeah, I was. If I'm having a couple beers and I'm doing the world according to Mike, you're going to.
So
get the
what
world
is it that
according
you
to Mike.
drink? Because you never did say. Was it that
Budweiser.
Rockville?
What when I was drinking? What?
Who?
I was drinking beer last night.
That's all
He
you
drinks Yuckweiser.
I
Yeah.
know, right? Ugh.
Oh my God, you got to.
And we got a beer sponsor,
I know, right?
and he's drinking Yuckweiser. Go to Gravity. And
Gravity.
get a growler.
But here's the thing. Here's the-
I should have brought that
look,
one
look,
from
look,
downstairs. I mean, upstairs down here last night.
A
for
lot
you.
of they have what 20 beers on tap. Isn't that
and
what
they have wine.
And
Yeah.
they switch it up all the time.
I don't drink. I'm not. And I'm
I should have
Sicilian.
brought down the one I have from
So?
upstairs and forced y'all to drink it.
You
last
don't drink wine?
No, not really.
Do you eat olives?
I love olives. I am an olive. I'm a giant
night.
olive.
Just because you're round
Don't
doesn't
say
mean
you're
an
not
olive.
green.
Do you know that?
But you do have
Trust me.
herpes.
Yeah, because once you got it, it's yours.
Do you know
And
that
you
the
get to
best
share it.
olives are called super colossal olives? They come from Greece.
Are you really going to try to be all smart now?
Yes, he is.
I love olives. I know all about
Green or
olives.
black?
Jesus, I can't stand a black olive on my pizza.
Black olives are disgusting, and they're basically it's a racial thing.
I'm trying to figure out. I knew some stupid joke was going to be made about that.
There,
I just had a feeling. It's like,
There-
oh my god!
in the olive world, there's only 11% black olives.
You're an idiot, Mike. You are absolutely an idiot.
Look.
So the rest are green with envy.
Oh my god, this show is getting terrible.
If you notice,
If I notice.
black olives are never stuffed with anything. Only green
Oh
olives.
my god, Mike.
That's right, because they're red.
And
All right, so look, we're
Are they
down to
cherries?
we're like a little more than 10 minutes, and I'm thinking, how do we even go any further? Like, I feel like we're stepping off the edge of the canyon now.
well, you brought up racism
This
and
isn't
olives.
the
so
only
I'm
other
gonna
How did I
discuss
bring
it.
up? I did not bring up racism in olives. I brought up the fact that a black olive is nasty. Has anybody ever had the other crap on pizza?
Anchovies?
Yes.
Yuck.
Have you?
No, that's
Have
fish
you?
baked.
I
That's
want to
fish
try
baked.
it one day. We
No.
need to order one
No,
one
no,
day,
no,
and
no,
all of
no.
us eat it on the show.
You
Go
know
down-
why?
Mike's like,
I would-
no,
I would-
no,
Where the
no,
hell
no.
did the anchovies come from? If you're ordering
Why?
like little,
Yeah, where did that
little
come from?
Caesars, can you imagine Little Caesars at where are the anchovies?
They
I don't know.
probably
We
go
left
down
them on the floor. You know,
They were still swimming around in the
Ugh.
aquarium.
no way.
They probably go down to the local bait shop and get the little minnows.
Yeah, well, shad. Okay, so bringing up the black olives again.
They don't have pits.
Did you say tits?
Pits
Pits.
with a P.
You're gonna need to enunciate your words because a
Well,
lot of
you're the one-
misunderstandings occurring. Hey, check this
Well,
out.
get your head out of your bra.
Somebody said there is an abandoned castle in Covington.
There is.
Where?
Ooh, I'd have to show you. You can't see it behind the woods now because the woods have grown up.
I
I don't know that it's abandoned. I don't recall.
It used to be.
I heard stories
Uh-huh.
back in the day of a brother and sister, and some construction company was their parents or
Uh-huh.
whatever, and they ended up getting this castle. But it's 212.
Okay. Well, you guys got to.
There's a bridge in 212. I have to point. Wait, I need to go
Okay.
down there one day.
Well, we can do it on Google
it's
Earth
the
too.
DuPont, isn't it? The DuPont Castle or
I
something like
I
that.
didn't know there was one of those. You
It's
know what?
new. I'm gonna Google it real quick.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out from the picture. I was trying to look at it, and then of course, in the middle of the night, my brain wanders. And then last night, of course, I was thinking
wonder.
I was, I made sure
wrote the book of love. Sorry.
I had a Mercedes Benz following me last night when I left here. It was kind of weird. They followed me all the way to Oglesby Bridge Road from here, and they were right on my ass the whole time. It was
Why
kind of
didn't
weird.
you take them on a joyride?
Well, you know
Man,
what
if
I
I
did
know you're
was-
following me, I'm gonna make you work for it.
Well, I was going to try to get them to follow me into the farm, because
No, don't go where you live. Really?
Oh, no, I had my gun in my hand, and I pulled in, and if they were going to follow me, I was just going to whip it to the side, jump out, and they would have been trapped.
God, let's not talk about you whipping out anything.
Especially to the side.
Friggin' weirdo.
Why do you have to bring up black olives? Such a racist.
Because they don't have pits.
And they don't get a vote.
No.
In the olive world.
Because they're nasty.
You just laughed and you didn't show any facial expression or anything.
I'm sorry.
You just went. It's like you're a laughing ventriloquist.
I try.
Why? Why try? So it was kind of weird. They followed me. Well, this neighborhood at night is very different than this neighborhood during the day, and it ain't that great during the day.
Here?
Yes.
No, it's like night and day.
Yeah, at night, this is creepy around here.
Right. Are you trying to say that here in the nighttime and here in the daytime so different? And you said it's the difference of night and day. Well, friggin' duh.
Hey,
it's
the
chair. Seat, man.
It's the chair, man.
Did you just hear what she said?
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
it's the difference of night and day. Well, duh. They trust you carry a gun. Right.
Yes,
the
they
chair
do.
Is
they did.
One. Hey, I still carry
Barney, to give you one bullet.
I have one. Just one.
Just one. That is hilarious.
Wow, it's one of those things.
That's
like
the difference
last
of
night
and day.
Last night when I was backing out, because I'm parked across the street, and I was backing out, and somebody was coming down the street, and they slowed down. Okay, and I took off, and they followed me. And I go a really weird route. I go down to Honey Creek.
Right.
Okay, and I go straight through, and then I cut over on what's that Troop Smith, and then you take that little side, and they're following me the whole way, and they're right on my ass.
So take them on a joyride.
Oh, I did. I mean, I went through the intersection at 212 and Oglesby Road, and then to the right there is Safe Farms, and that's where I live, and literally had my firearm out and whipped it in. And if they would have followed me into the farm, I was going to just, park and brake. That was cool.
I have no idea. Oh, that crap's doing it again.
That was so cool. It did it a couple times last night.
Yeah, but I don't understand why it's doing it. Again, I had all that kind of stuff turned off.
Operator error?
No, it's
a setting.
10 freaking update.
Yeah, it's a setting. So I was fully anticipating them to follow me in there, and I was going to put 2 right through the windshield. There's none of that stop, freeze, wait. I don't do all that. No, the hell with that. If you're threatening me, I'm going to kill you. And you know what? I'll sleep perfectly good that night. It's not going to bother me. Seroquel works. Somebody breaks. Yeah. Somebody breaks in the house or something like that. My dog went ballistic.
Surely you're not out there by yourself, are you?
Well,
or are you?
Oh, why? Do you care?
Maybe just a little.
Well, she knows what other person to send over to help you.
Other person's
no, my brother and my sister-in-law live in the house too. It's kind of a country house, and it's split in the middle. The living room and dining room are kind of like the common area.
That sounds like a little bit like Charles Manson type. It's split in the middle.
What the hell? How did Charles Manson get into this?
Because the way you describe the house.
Freaking Tates back in the damn 60s.
You can tell that it's the chair, and she's been here a week because it's already gotten a little weird.
We're gonna have to come up with a damn nickname now.
I know, right?
It was Little Dynamite. Now I have no idea. The Dutter sisters.
Did you say Little Dynamite?
You put all three. You put all 3 of them together, and it's
instead of Little Dynamite, we can call it Little Dumbite.
Yeah, Little Dumbite. Do it.
Dumbite.
It sounds too much like termite.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like duh. Niece.
Duh.
So how about duh? Duh, send something. Now, because of tomorrow, we got the funeral thing that we were doing. There was a guest that was going to call in, that's now been moved back a week. And she hits me up and says, well, did you download so-and-so's music? Well, if he's not calling in till next week.
Then no.
And I said, you hadn't even been here a week and you're still trying to tell me what to do.
That's right.
I know.
I suck at downloading music, y'all. I don't have enough time to do stuff. Right now, my mission has been getting my bike fixed. I'm sorry.
And also, it's it's one of those things that's extremely difficult in the radio business to do something that you think you're supposed to do, because it changes, especially this show.
Yeah, it changes.
It changes direction so fast that even if somebody calls in, they could be 10 minutes behind the discussion, and they could call in and say something. We all look at each other
and go, "What is he talking about?"
So. Yep. Oh wow, I just got a thing. It says showing your cleavage doesn't fix your face.
Sir,
What? I can't say cleavage?
why?
Why are you worried about that?
I'm just saying that something came over. It
And
said
what? Really?
well, I'm not
That
showing
was
anybody.
last night.
I'm not showing
Oh, let's talk
anybody.
about that. So you wore a bra last night,
Well, they couldn't quite get it latched in the back.
but it's on video, so people can
Yes.
go to the YouTube
Apparently-
page and see last night.
Apparently, I am larger than a.
But it's not. It's not
38.
your boobs that are larger though. It's
No, it's
your.
me.
It's your.
Don't you say it.
It's your girth. It's your overall body circumference. Is
That's
that
right.
is that correctly?
They didn't have enough elastic last night.
So instead of being shaped like a supermodel, you're shaped like a keg,
Well, I'm
like
not
a
gonna
Jack
lie.
Daniels barrel.
I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't like freaking, Victoria's
look.
Secret.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did it remotely turn you on putting a bra on?
Duh. Why do you think I was doing it?
What color was it?
It was white, but it had like little
was what
hearts on
color?
it and stuff.
What color?
White.
White.
Yeah. I'm not gonna wear a black bra, and I'm not a racist.
You're not.
I don't like black olives either. Throw punch. Yeah. So I guess we just didn't get the size right. We're gonna try next week. Now my co-host
The fact that it's like, oh,
Doc. She's
I didn't
trying
get
to.
my size.
Yeah,
Right.
she's trying to get me. This is so crazy. She's
And-
trying to get me to wear pantyhose.
And you say Doc, and it throws us off a little
well,
bit.
Doc,
I know
Doc
what you're
Danielle,
saying. Yeah.
because she's a combat.
I know. I said it just throws us off a little.
Yeah. She wants me to wear pantyhose, and I just, you know what? A lot of guys, and I know you're gonna freak out about this, but when you do like special ops stuff, you can anticipate being in your uniform, your boots, for 3, 4, 5, 6 days.
So what's
And-
the pantyhose for?
It reduces chafing. We used to call it chaff ass.
Well, I wear those. What's the material?
Velcro.
No, it's
Velour?
like a sports type underwear. It's
Polyester?
almost it's
Like
almost
the Under Armour type.
yeah, it's just like that to keep my legs from doing that.
Okay, well,
Because all the
Yeah.
pants today's, like I said, Walmart crap. The crotch on everything hangs way too long, and it rubs between my dang legs.
That's what cornstarch is for, right?
no, you'll make pancakes. You can't do that, man.
And then when I get new leather boots, I always y'all gonna think I'm crazy. I always have to take 3 pieces of duct tape and make a little patch and put it on the inside on the heel.
Yeah.
Because if not, it rubs on my heel until the boot gets
Well,
broken.
we have something.
And then
called
yes, I got
moleskin.
monkey. Brian Eubanks says monkey butt. Yep, I
Yeah.
got monkey butt powder in the bus.
Yeah. Now, see, we put moleskin on our heels and all, and then people misunderstand this, but generally when we strap on our boots, people will say, "Oh, don't put them on so tight if you're going to be in." Nah, you strap them on like they're never coming off. Like you might
You
have to
have
take.
used that word way too much.
What's that?
Strap on.
You were talking about it earlier.
Strapping what on?
I don't know. You're a girl. There's all sorts of accessories you could wear. Where'd this conversation go? Okay, so you put moleskin on your heels and your feet if you got any of that crap. But guys would wear pantyhose. It keeps you warm too.
Right.
But it does prevent
why-
monkey butt.
Are you not wanting to try?
I don't. I never did that because I don't even wear long underwear. I don't like that feeling of. Yeah, I used to wear a wetsuit. Like in the water.
Feel like a wetsuit.
Yeah, it does. It
Then
just.
how do you know?
He's talking about feel like.
Well, no, I've put them on before and then I took them
Are
right
you
back
talking
off.
about being restrictive,
Yes, I guess, or being,
constricted,
constricted, restricted, authoritative, whatever. I mean, I don't like the SM thing. So
You want S and what?
yeah,
Never mind.
yeah.
All right, we're at 9:59. Let's wrap this puppy up. We only have 1 minute left.
Please. God, say it. It's over. Punch
It's
out.
over.
Man, today
We
was-
made it another day.
God,
Go
today-
ahead. Make my day.
today
And
was-
then in Mike's case,
You are one pathetic loser.
sorry,
no, that's fine. I'm used to it by now.
I'm sure you would be.
So yeah, couldn't do it, and I'm not gonna wear pantyhose. I'll wear a thong or something for fun, but
that does not make any sense at all. You'll wear a thong, but you won't try pantyhose.
no, pantyhose are gonna freak me out. I can't do it. I'll wear a
Why
thong
not just
'cause I'll
get
be
knee
sexy.
highs and then you can take them right back off?
No, that would
How
be-
crazy is this? And I'll go ahead and tell everybody when we used to rappel all the time, I would wear a black thong from Fredericks of Hollywood. I went and got the man banana hammock thong because what I learned wearing tighty whities as you're trying to rappel and you're in the rappelling gear, it's the saddle and the 2 straps that go around your butt cheeks takes all your pants and all your underwear and shoves them directly in your crack.
It's called a Swiss seat.
So in my mind, I would rather have on my jump pants and I'm not going in my crack. So I'd rather just go ahead and start out with a little bitty piece of cotton between my crack than a whole lot of Fruit of the Looms in my crack.
I used to, the military uniform, the Army uniform changed a lot. It used to be tucked in with a belt, and then it went to like a jacket that's outside.
Well, I heard that you did a little tuck.
Well, here's the thing is when people,
Nip and tuck.
the BDUs were the camouflage pattern. And when I was teaching rappelling, I used to tell guys, tuck that in, and they'd go, no, it's not supposed to be tucked in. I go, look, you're going to make your own Swiss seat out of a 12-foot piece of rope, and I guarantee it, once you hook on, you're going to go about 10 feet, and your uniform is going to get racked up into that.
Oh, yeah, you always.
And you're going to choke your
That's right.
boys, let's say.
That's right.
And they'd be, no, I'm cool. And
I tried to explain that on that big rescue figure 8.
Yeah.
I tried to tell people all the time. I'm like, dude, you do not want to. Let me tell you, I had to climb off a 100-foot cliff one time.
And cut
And
people
cut,
loose.
and I had to cut the guy's shirt off of him because his shirt was yanked so tight. The shirt that would have been right at his crotch had pulled up to his neck and was starting to choke him.
Oh wow.
So I had to jump down because he didn't keep his feet planted on the wall correctly, and he leaned in and it caught all that shirt in the front, and it literally had his crotch and his throat almost pulled together. I had to cut his shirt off of him 100 foot off the ground.
We're teaching Australia, and they would stand up, and the guys are all cool and mean and brave and gung ho. They take about 4 steps, and they would break, and it immediately throws their head to the wall, and we had a guy knock himself out.
I guess he's trying to tell you to hurry up.
We got to go.
Yeah, so I
got somewhere I got to be in just a few minutes.
All right, so they put the guy in belay, so he's like knocked out upside down. You have to go down there and cut him free.
Right.
And because his stupid.
So we're out. Everybody have a great day.
It's a Thursday, man.
Yeah, man. Everybody, we'll see y'all later. Just know they say the rain will be here around 2-ish.
And it's
2-ish. And now they're saying tomorrow's going to be horrible. So we're out of here. Tomorrow we're going to attempt to do a show. Donna's funeral's at 1. Got to go. See y'all tomorrow.
Bye.
Later on video.